All right, team. Welcome to another episode of the Grey Man Podcast. I'm your host, Harley Fox. Today on the show, we got Jesse Stevenson. Steve-O was a veteran of the Royal Australian Army, combat engineer with a deployment to Afghanistan. And today's pod, we'll be talking about his time in service, good, bad, the ugly, and what he's been doing since, and what he used to overcome the struggles he faced after getting out of the military. So excited to share this one with you guys today. If you like the podcast, please like and subscribe on YouTube or Spotify. Help me out, help the channel grow. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Jesse, welcome.
Thanks.
Here we are. You did it.
Yes, I'm here.
Cool. How you going?
Yeah, nervous and tired.
How old are your kids?
Little one's about to turn 3, and the big one's 5. So
Okay.
still in the trenches of that. So
Yeah.
they're both going through some sleep stuff at the moment. So
Both boys?
Yeah, both boys. Yeah. So it's the old you raise girls and you keep boys alive. So they're going through some sleep stuff at the moment. So we're up at all weird hours and stuff like that, and co-sleeping and all that fun stuff. So.
Oh, no good. What's keeping them up?
Big one, just like, night terrors and stuff like that, and normal 5-year-old sort of stuff. And that little one's just going through that stage of wanting to always be close to us,
Oh, yeah.
I want mum, that sort of stuff. So that's always fun to deal with, but they're good. They're pretty good.
My daughter she tried it on over the years, trying to sleep in my bed, or she does with her mum a lot of the time. They burrow down and sleep together.
Yeah.
But here I'm like, no.
Yeah, the big one's pretty good. He's never really been like a super co-sleeper. As long as you're, just like hanging out with him, basically laying down with him while he goes to sleep, he's fine. I'll read a few books and he's pretty good. But the little one, he's a real co-sleeper. Like middle of the night, wakes up. No, get in my bed. Or he gets in.
Sneaks in.
Yeah, but gets in my wife's bed and then she's just rolling around on top of her and stuff.
So it ruins your sleep.
Yeah.
Good for them, bad for you. Cool, man. So where are you from?
So I live here in Brisbane now.
A little bit closer.
Sorry.
No, just jam it up near your mouth. Down your throat.
So I live here in Brisbane, lived here for the last 4 years, and then Townsville for 10, 11 years before that.
Yeah. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up down in a town near Maitland.
Down in Victoria?
No, New South Wales.
Okay.
So about half hour from Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty much anyone listening to this that's been through the School of Infantry is probably laughing right now when I say Maitland, because that's where they go for their nights out in town.
Oh, true.
First thing but yeah, so it's a town off of Maitland called Thornton. It was a really small town when I grew up there. So we were like living at the back of the town. There's just bushes and stuff behind us and horse paddocks. Grew up there, was born around there and grew up there until moved away at 18. So yeah.
Is that seeing all the infantry boys around? What fucking lit the spark?
No, I didn't really see them until I got older and started going out in town and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, it's a real like a classic Australian blue collar area. Massive amounts of industry down there. Like it's one of the biggest ports for coal export in the world.
Okay.
So you've got like coal mines up the valley. You've got like massive steel industry there and stuff like that. So
yeah, right. Real working men's.
Yeah. No, so I didn't really think about joining the army until I was 6 months out, sort of thing. So it was never something that came across my mind really. I didn't really know what I wanted to do when I grew up. It's just sort of like
massive footy culture and stuff down there.
Yeah, huge. It's just like, sport's a massive thing. I was not into sport at all.
Yeah.
But it's a massive thing. Like, pretty much all my friends either played football or played cricket or swam or played soccer or something like that. It's huge culture down there. And it's real like, real work, drink beers, play sport, that sort of thing. Yeah,
my mate lives down in Hunter Valley. What's it called? Curry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he
that's a rough area,
yeah. Yeah, mate, he's always he's in his 50s now, and he's always letting me know about all the, the tough guys in town and somebody said something about somebody and now he's got to watch out for this guy. I'm like, fucking hell, mate, you're in your 50s. Fucking
crime rate around that area is pretty bad. Like lots of thieves and stuff like that, like stolen cars and motorbikes and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but he was telling me about the footy culture. He's like, it's just so fucking ingrained in the community. It's so big. Yeah,
it's massive. Like, I never played footy growing up, but I think it was just probably because my dad was not really into sports. But it's huge. Like, my best mate growing up, he was like one of the fastest youth bowlers in Australia or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's huge, massive. Like, that's probably one of the things that drove me to leave Maitland, because I didn't really want that. I didn't want to go to work, drink beers, and just watch sport on the weekends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What did you do on the weekends?
Growing up, when I was little, I don't really know. We spent a lot of time as a family. I think stuff together.
Siblings?
I've got one full brother, who I grew up with, Josh, and then 3 half siblings from my dad's first marriage. So 2 sisters and a brother. I don't really have much to do with them anymore. I didn't really have much to do with them growing up, other than like occasionally seeing them at like family gatherings and stuff like that. But
okay, they weren't 1 week on, 1 week off, or anything?
No. They were fully. They're a lot older than me, so I think it was I can't remember what really happened. I think they lived with both my parents at one stage, I think, before I was born, and then once I was born and we moved and stuff like that, they kind of went their own way.
Yep.
I just sort of met my sister, one of my sisters last year, and she met one of my kids and stuff for the first time, and that sort of stuff. So, my other sister and my other brother, I've got no idea. I haven't spoken to them in years, but my other brother, my full brother Josh, he lives up here now in Brisbane, and we always fought stuff growing up, but we're pretty close now. Like, we always talk and we share the same taste in music, so we try to go to gigs together and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
What's the age gap?
He is, I want to say 40. I think 40. Yeah. He's 40, and I think my eldest sister is in her 50s now. So I'm 34. So
okay, 6 years. Yeah, it's pretty common to fucking with that big an age gap. You sort of at different stages of your life as you're growing up. So
yeah, and we were like pretty different people too. Like, once we got to teenagers and stuff like that, he was like I got into working out, sort of physical stuff, and he wasn't into that at all. So yeah,
smash and piss.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, he didn't. No, he's not sporty at all. He's like, he's real into like cars and like mechanical stuff and sink a piss.
So, what jobs and stuff did you have when you were growing up?
I pretty much didn't work through high school and stuff like that. Mum and dad never really bothered me to work and stuff like that. But when I finished year 11, I started year 12, like did the first like couple of weeks, and I realized I was kind of fucking around too much and wasn't interested in doing it. I still had no idea what I was going to do. And mum and dad were just like, why don't you just get an apprenticeship? And I was like, all right. So we tried to get my apprenticeship in the mines because I'd done bulk work experience underground, like in the mines and stuff like that.
Hey.
And, like a 13-year-old landlord dad's like taking me underground, like to the mines and stuff. It was pretty, and everyone's like, are you allowed to do that? I'm like, I don't know. But like dad's been in the mine since he was a kid. So it was kind of like, oh yeah, you just go into the mine. So I was like, all right. So that didn't happen. I ended up getting an apprenticeship as a fitter. And I worked for Energy Australia for like 6 months doing like a training thing there.
Right.
And then after that 6 months finished, I went and worked at a fertilizer plant down on the Central Coast. It was like a 45-minute drive. And I'm like earning like $200 a week back then. So, so it was horrible. But that was an experience. That was a weird job. And they pretty much wanted a Boilermaker, not a fitter. So I basically welded all day, which I enjoyed. That was fun.
Oh, yeah. Good skill to have.
Yeah. And I was doing a lot of stainless steel welding, so TIG and stainless steel rods with arc and stuff like that, which is, I didn't realize at the time, which is pretty unusual for welding, or like not very common, because it was a fertilizer plant. Everything's so acidic, so it has to be done with stainless steel. Otherwise, otherwise it just gets eaten away. But yeah, it was an interesting job. It's pretty rough. It's hot as shit. Like they had an ammonia, they had a raw product shed where like all the shit would come in to process the fertilizer. And it would be like thick with ammonia, like you'd have to wear a respirator. And I remember one day they're like, oh, you got to go weld this door back on. I was like, okay. And they were too stingy to buy me like a fresh face welding mask. So I would go out there and they're like, yeah, just just have your respirator on and then take it off to weld and then put it back on. So I'd take it off, I'd put my welding mask on, weld, and there'd be like snot running out, tears. Like it's basically I'm being CS gas. Like, and I'm trying to weld, and then I'd like, oh Christ, and I'd drop the welder and I'd put my respirator back on, and that was horrible. And we'd have spot fires and stuff like that because of like the dry dust from the fertilizer and then like spontaneous combustion. We'd you'd usually have a lunch and the fire alarm would go off because there'd be a spot fire going on. And I remember telling my mum all the time, like, oh, that place is going to burn down, like for sure. And then years later, when I was in Afghanistan, there was a massive fire there, and it was on the news. And my mum, like, took photos of the TV and like sent it to me and stuff.
Called it, yeah,
it was pretty funny. But that was my first job. I didn't really work up until then. Mum and dad were pretty happy with just me, like doing school and like working out and stuff like that. And I got involved in a mixed martial arts gym down there in the early 2000s, and that kind of kept me on the straight and narrow throughout high school and stuff like that. So, been fucking living that fight life since you were a kid. Yeah, a long time. Yeah, I was like a really like unathletic fat kid in primary school, and I kind of got to high school and didn't want to be that anymore. So I started working out and like watching what I eat and stuff like that, and then I saw a documentary called The Smashing Machine, which they've just made the actual movie of it with The Rock in it. And it's about Mark Kerr and his life in fighting. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like it was like 2001 or something like that, 2002.
Yeah, I think I saw the original one. Yeah.
And I was like, this stuff's nuts. And I was like, oh, I kind of, like maybe I could do that. Maybe I could be a bit tougher and do that, Anyway, my mum was a tax accountant at the time, and she spoke to a guy that played for the Newcastle Knights, and he was doing jiu-jitsu at a place in Newcastle. So mum took us and dropped us off there, and we started training jiu-jitsu at this club. It's called Newcastle Fight Gym, and it was in a place called Mayfield, which is a bit of a dodgy area in Newcastle. And it was underneath like a mechanics. So it was like a warehouse sort of underneath the mechanics, and you had to go through like a back road to get it. And like just around the corner was like kind of like the red light area of Newcastle, where like the prostitutes was down the street, and we would do like workout on the oval behind it. And you had to be careful, like the coach, the owner, Jamie Ballard, he would like come out and be like, all right, boys, just make sure you got shoes on. Like I found syringes here before. Like it was rough as. And it was such a mix of people. Like there was, dudes on parole, gang guys, and there was coppers and dudes from the RAF and army base. So
right.
It was such a big mixture of people.
Yeah. Everybody's the same when you got a gi on.
That's it, yeah. So, I started training there, and that was kind of my, starting point to like working out, and I think that probably really changed the direction of my life, like which probably really ended up, resulted in me joining the military and stuff like that. Yeah.
Gave you that discipline and stuff.
And I think, and the want for a challenge.
Yeah.
I think, kind of realized like, oh, I feel much better when I'm like, doing hard stuff, and, like it feels like I have a purpose, and like, makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, didn't want that to end.
Nice. Yeah. A lot of those old gyms were fucking pretty gangster back in the days, eh?
Yeah, it was rough. I remember, middle of summer, it would get so bad in there. Sorry, my mouth is so dry.
I used to train at, it's now Corporate Box Valley, but originally it was Valhalla, run by a biker dude.
Of course it was, yeah.
And it was on top of a strip club, still on top of a strip club, but there was actually a staircase in the middle of the gym floor that took you down into the strip club.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's been floored over now, but back in the days they used to have fight nights and stuff, and everyone go down to the strippers afterwards.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I remember in the middle of summer, it was like really hot in there, and I mean we went out to like the car park just on the oval there, and basically everyone just like stood out there, and Jamie Ballard, the owner, he's got a hose and he's just like hosing everyone down. Just, like, everyone's so hot, like, and there were a bunch of dudes that fought pretty regularly in MMA and stuff, and this is back when XFC was just starting up, and Justin Murray, he was a middleweight XFG champion at one point. He was a really cool dude. He was a purple belt back then, and that was like a purple belts back in like the early 2000s were rare as hen's teeth.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was pretty cool. It was.
Did you have any fights?
There was no youth MMA scene back then. I did a few jiu-jitsu comps. My first comp was at Sydney University, and the judge was Elvis Sinisic. I don't know if you know who that is, but he was like one of the first Australians to ever be in the UFC. Him and Anthony Aporosh were like pioneers of MMA and Jiu Jitsu and stuff here in Australia. So it was pretty cool. I did horribly at the comp. I think I won one match.
Just as a white belt?
Yep. Yeah, just as a white belt. It was a good experience. Like I did a few Jiu Jitsu comps there, and yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, nice.
It really, I think that was exactly what I needed at that time, I think. So,
yeah. And when was the decision made to join the army?
I think it was a few things. One guy from that gym, we called him Tonka. I don't really know what his actual name was. He joined the reserves and then liked it so much that he changed over to regulars. I know he's still in. I saw a Facebook, Instagram post of him last year, and he just got his black belt. I think he's an officer now in the infantry. Right. I think that was pretty cool to see. I think that, and then when I was like 17, 18, doing that apprenticeship, I kind of I didn't want that life. Like I didn't want to just work and go home, and like even though I had the gym and stuff, like it was like, oh, this is not what I want. I want to have an adventure. I want a bit of a challenge. And my parents did the best they could. I think they just didn't really understand. I couldn't really explain to them what I wanted to do. Like I'm like, man, I just don't want to like work and come home and that's it. Like I want to go do something else. Like, have an adventure, have a challenge, like, do something crazy. And I didn't really know what else to do. Like, I didn't know where to look or anything like that to see like what options there were for me to go and do stuff. Yeah. And then my best mate at the time, Matt, he was like, oh, I'm going to join the army after I finish year 12. And I was working at the time. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, this might be something that, I can look at. So I started looking at that, and then I was like, all right, well, I can go and do this, or I can, stay and work at this apprenticeship that I hate. Like I was hating that. Like it was leading nowhere. I was just like, man, I'm not gonna. Even if I finish this apprenticeship, I'm just gonna hate doing this work. I don't see anything that I can get out of it. Yeah. And obviously, like it's 18. Like I'm only thinking about the short term. Like I'm not thinking about the long term sort of thing. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to join the army, and that's going to be my adventure, my getting out of Maitland, and my challenge. And I spoke to my parents about it, and they obviously didn't really get what I was saying. But Dad did a short stint in the military in England, and was kind of like, okay, it's going to be hard. Like, after the 2 weeks, the novelty is going to wear off, and the reality is going to set in. So you kind of need to be ready for that. And I sort of got on the defense recruiting website with my parents and had to look through the different jobs that were there, and kind of Dad was like, no, you should do a trade. Like, maybe you can finish your trade in there. So when you come out, and I was kind of like, if I'm going to join the army, I want to do something like different. I don't want to go and do something that I can do outside. That's not going to scratch that itch. Yeah. And then Mum was like, oh, well, what about combat engineer? I had a look at it, and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Like, I like blowing stuff up. And then my best mate, Matt, he was joining his infantry, and I was kind of like, all right, well, maybe I'll just join his infantry, like, and then I'll have combat engineer second, and then I think fiery was third or something like that. Yeah. And anyway, I applied and went in, and as soon as I saw the recruiter, like the first meeting, he's like, oh, I see you doing an apprenticeship. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, oh, because you have a trade background, we're not going to let you join as infantry. And I was like, oh, okay then. And knowing what I know now, I could have been like, fuck that. Like, I'm joining as infantry, but you just believe what the recruiter tells you, sort of thing. Everyone's got a story like that. So he's like, oh, but combat engineer is a priority job, because it was like the heat of Afghanistan. It was like 2009. And so I was like, all right, sweet, that sounds good. So I just did that, did the mechanical testing, smoked that. Basically qualified for any job other than anything that required year 12, so any officer job. Okay. So did that, did all the testing, and the fitness test was piss easy. And then I was gone like 3 or 4 months later or something like that. So
yeah, so you got into combat engineers. Yep.
So I went away to Kapuka in 2009, September 2009. I went to Kapuka.
What was that like? It would have been in the height of Afghan, so
yeah.
Were they really fucking prepping you for war?
Well, yeah. So there was our platoon and our sister platoon, and our sister platoon had like all their corporals were like storemen and truckies and stuff like that, and then our platoon had my sacco was a grunt who'd just come back from Afghanistan.
Oh shit.
And then we had three cav corporals, and then our sergeant was a combat engineer. So it was good. like, so it was pretty good. Like they were like, I don't know what you call it. Like they were pretty like what you expect sort of thing. About
hard ass.
Yeah. But like it was good because when you actually ask them questions about like, oh, like what's this like in the army? What's this? Like they'd give you proper answers. Like not just tell you to fuck off or anything like that. They were like, all right. So I went to my sergeant. Was like, oh, what's a combat engineer? What's that like? And he actually like had a good chat with me and be like, all right, so this is what you do. This is your job. Like if you go overseas, this is what's going to happen. Like it was actually really good. My corporal seemed to take it particularly disliking to me the first few weeks we got there. Like, I think it was just probably I was wearing a really tight shirt when I rocked up. But he was, he basically smashed me at first. Oh, not smashed me, but just like, like I was the guy he like, singled out. I think just because that's what they do.
Yeah.
For the first couple of weeks, and then once he kind of realized I was there for the long haul, he just kind of left me alone for the rest of the time, and that was it. And I think because I was pretty fit when I joined, I just like got left alone a little bit.
Yeah.
As long as I could kind of like do everything else and not like be a total sack of shit, like it was all right. So, yeah. Like Kapuka wasn't very hard; it was just shit. Like
it just sucks.
But he was a pretty funny dude. He used to give me shit for being so quiet, like because I was a fairly quiet guy and I just wouldn't talk really. Like I'd talk if someone spoke to me, but that was it, And I remember he was like giving me shit one day. He's like, "Are your family coming to the march out?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Are you gonna actually fucking talk to them? Or do you talk to your fucking family?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, sure you do." Like, he was a pretty funny dude.
That's broing down sort of off the clock, or when they're walking around the halls and stuff, and then they come in and have a little quiet chats. Really makes a big difference. I was actually talking to a full track on Thursday, and he's going down to be an RI in a couple of months, and he's really worried about, these days, can't swear at them and do this and that.
Yeah,
and
I've heard that since like pretty much when I got out. Like,
yeah. I was like, you can fucking go hard, but just make sure that when you're not like fucking giving instruction, you're actually like can have a conversation or help them out, give them soldiers fives and stuff, and
be an actual leader.
Like, yeah. And then like they'll forget that you fucking gripped them up and not make complaints about it. But if you're just a cunt the whole time, then don't be surprised if you get a couple of complaints.
Yeah, well, I kind of realized that when like as well, like pretty soon after that first 2 weeks when one of the corporals came in and actually had a chat with me about jiu-jitsu. And I was like, I'm like, this is all just a facade. Like it's all it's all acting. I'm like, all right, okay then. Like that didn't help though when I got fucking reamed like the next day. And I was like shitting myself because
doesn't feel like acting when you're sitting on the admin line.
No, man. I grow facial hair really fast. Like my beard grows real quick, and I would shave twice a day. And I remember I was walking to like the bathroom. I walked past my sergeant and I didn't acknowledge him as I walked past because he was having a conversation. So he like pulled me up and he's like, "What have I fucking said about acknowledging people when I walk past?" I was like, "Oh fuck, right, here we go." And then he's like, "Do you fucking shave this morning?" I was like, "Yes, sergeant, I fucking shaved." Like, I'm like shitting myself. And he's like here, like screaming at me. And then so I started shaving twice a day. So I'd like, and so we're like after
face is all fucked up.
Yeah, man. I would dry shave in my room like after lunch. I was like fucking hell. So yeah,
I'm like that as well. I remember I got in trouble at like fucking 7 p.m. or something because I had stubble. And I'm like, fucking, what do you want me to do? We shave in the morning. Fuck
like 15 hours ago. Kipiga was fine, man. It was I remember my parents when I met them afterwards. They were like, "Wow, like you're so different." I was like, I didn't really feel different or like anything like that. But they were just like, "Oh, you're definitely like." I think the word that my mum used was armified. Armified, yeah.
Oh, armified,
yeah.
You carry yourself differently, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's a really good like brainwashing process. But it wasn't that hard. It was just shit to be honest. But
yeah. So where do the combat engineers go for ITs?
So Moorebank, so across the road from Holsworthy Barracks there in Sydney.
Okay.
Just near Liverpool. Pretty shit base. Pretty old.
How long's that one?
So 3 months for the course. So I finished Kapuka in December. We went to Holdies straight away at Moorebank, just holding platoon there, and then went on Christmas leave, come back. So it worked pretty well there. And my family were like an hour and a half from Sydney, so they just come down and pick me up sort of thing. Yeah. It was good. And then, so we were Holdies and we come back, and then we were still in holding platoon, so they were like, all right, we're going to send you down to Pucker, do your truckies course. Yeah, the truckies like license, like mod course.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, you go straight into engineers course. So we went down to Pucker and did that, and it was a shit course. It was like the outside of the course was fun because the boys they sent us down when they were we're all mates. It was good. We just go to the gym together and go out on the piss together and stuff like that. And the town that was closest to Pucker was just a fucking absolute nightmare. It was just. Yeah, it was nuts.
Just full of bogans.
Yeah, well, I think someone told me it was a settlement town for when you come out of prison, and they would like put people there on parole and and stuff like that. So I don't know how true that is, but it was rough as guts. Like there was an incident where there was like MPs and civic cops around like some dudes from Puck, like some AJs, and all these civilians were like fucking throwing shit at them, and they're like trying to bail them into the back of the MP's wagon. Like it was pretty funny, but it was fun. But the course sucked. It was run by civvies, and they were just like angry as shit all the time. And
Mod course was run by civvies.
Yep, yeah, ex-army dudes that would just, and one of the dudes was just a fucking nutcase. Like he'd just say random shit. Like I went across this bridge, and and he was like, "You were just told you can't go across that bridge because it's broken." And I was like, no. Sorry, he said I could only go one way across the bridge because it was broken. I couldn't go the other way. And I was like, how the fuck does that make sense? Anyway, he like failed me for it. And I was like, what does this mean? And then the guy running the whole course was like, I've got no fucking idea. Like just pass it. Like it was a weird course. But then we come back from that. So I had my mod qual, which was like probably the worst stabbing ever because anytime there's a field exercise or anything like that, you're always like, oh, if we need someone with a mod code, you're out. So then we started engineer ITs in like March, maybe February, I don't know. And that's 3 months.
That was better.
That was good. I really liked the engineer course. It was great. It was really what I thought like the army was going to be like. We're just like all the boys living in the lines, like just fucking being larrikins, fucking around, like having jokes and stuff like that, and then like going hard at work and learning stuff all the time. And it was really good. So engineer course you do, I can't remember the start of it, what you start off with, but the main components are like, you do like search training, like a basic intro to searching and stuff like that, and then identifying explosive ordnance. There's like a CBR&D, which is like the chemical biological warfare segment, which is like a big thing for the engineers.
Yeah.
So that's where and it was really hyped up too beforehand. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was really like, that was like, it's going to be fucking bad, boys. Like you get the Mach 4 gear, like full suits, full chemical warfare suits with S10s, whatever, the gas masks, and you're like doing PT and stuff in them. And, you have to like swap stuff out and decontaminate stuff. And that was interesting. But no, IETs was fun, man. Like living with the boys and stuff.
Did you get gassed? And,
that is part of it. Like, yeah.
Fucking just another day in the office for me, boys.
I was having PTSD flashbacks to working at the furniture. I was like, don't send me out there. It was good. It was fun. It was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And then I'd go home on the weekends and stuff because we live so close. Like,
nice. One of the lucky ones.
Yeah, it was good, man. One of my mates, Harley, two dads, I'd take him home to my parents' place sometimes, like on the weekends. It was fun. Go on the piss and stuff in Newcastle, and
nice.
It was good. It was funny. Like, one of the stories I always remember was we had this dude in the squadron, in the troop, sorry. And he was a bit of he's pretty uptight. And I'd been home on the weekend before, and my brother had put this like sex toy box, like the packaging for a sex toy in my car, and I had picked up this girl and I'd like opened the thing and it had fallen out. And, everyone laughed.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I was like, all right. And then we went back to the thing, back to the base, and we had a room inspection the next day. And like a minute before the corporals walked in, I went and put it in this dude's locker, and I shut it and then ran off. And it was funny because the corporal was trying to like ream him for it, and was just like, you could hear like him laugh and like trying to be serious. Like it was just funny as fuck. And the guy went like bright red, and it was just funny. Like, and he fucking pinned it up on the notice board. It was pretty funny. But ITs was good, man. It was fun. Like it was all pretty straightforward, and like
you do live detonations in training.
Yeah, so we go to the DEMS range. Yeah, I forgot about that. We go to the DEMS range, and you learn like all your basic setups of everything like that, just an intro to it, and then we learn like about how to make certain types of setups like beehives and stuff, which are like EFPs, explosively formed projectiles and stuff like that. So to penetrate, concrete walls, bunkers, or vehicles or whatever, and then you make like an big ampho explosive, like and you learn the differences between like high explosives and low explosives and military ordnance compared to homemade stuff and all that sort of shit. So that was fun. That was good. That was just like 2 days out in the range, just like blowing stuff up.
Yeah, nice.
It was fun. That was like, and everyone was kind of like, yeah, this is sick. Like this is what I want to do. Like,
you do a lot of infantry minor tactics as an engineer as well.
You do a decent amount, but nothing compared to what the infantry do. But it's probably more than most other corps do, but way less than the infantry do.
Yeah.
I think I was the gunner when we did that, minimi gunner. But the big part of the IETs when I went through was like CBR&D, ordnance identification, and like search and all that sort of stuff, because that is like your bread and butter. Yeah.
You watched that Afghan movie that it's been praised as like the best fucking most accurate war movie ever made? It was like the dude that was in the bomb suit.
Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker, yeah.
That is fucking garbage. I fucking hate that movie. And I fucking, and people have brought that up when I was like, it was a comedy. And it's like, is that like Hurt Locker? Fucking dead. Like there's a bit where he like pulls like almost like, 200 kilos worth of fucking ordnance, just like with the det cord by his hand, like, when he moves like an IED. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. Yeah, but that was probably the first movie I saw where I was like, they actually show you like overblast pressure damage, like where I think he's like dude's running from it, and then like he detonates behind him, like you see the overblast pressure wave like come through, and like fucking like blood spurts out of his fucking nose, his eyeballs and shit, like, and you learn all about that too, like what does the damage with explosives, like and then like that comes into with like when you talk about high explosives versus low explosives and the speed of which the overblast wave or pressure like moves out, and that's like, so that's why they use like low explosives for like making holes and stuff like that. I think they use it in mining a lot with like like AMFO and things like that, because it makes big holes in the ground because it moves slow and pushes things.
Okay.
Yeah, so you learn all about that in IETs, but that was a long time ago. But
was there any regret joining engineers, or you were pretty happy with the decision?
At that time I was really happy. I loved it. I was like, yeah, this is sick. If this is what it's like being in the army, it's like I'm fucking all for it. Like, yeah. So it was good.
Where'd you go for your first posting?
So at the end, just before the end of our IETs, we got to choose. You got to put in your preferences to get to choose. But and they basically said a lot of us were going to Darwin, and then everyone wanted Brisbane, of course, but I think one guy got it, and that was because he had family here, like he was married with kids, and they sent him. But IRR had just become SOER, which is the Special Operations Engineer Regiment. They're the guys that work with SAS and Commandos as their engineers. Yeah. And they were like, they're taking guys straight from IETs now because they're trying to rebulk reinforce all their men. And me and my mate Harley were like, oh, fuck, we'll do that. Let's do that. Like, that sounds fucking awesome. Like, and we put it down, and then our corporal that we had came out and was like, oh, boys, like, there's a pretty fat chance that you're going to pass their selection, and like, if you don't pass, you'll get to 17 you'll go to 17 construction and just build houses and do construction work. And I was like, fuck that. Like, I don't want to fucking do that. Like, this is, yeah. So I ended up, like, we backpedaled and crossed it out, and we heard that Townsville was like the light engineer regiment. They would walk everywhere and do it hard sort of thing. Like, we got told, if you go to Townsville, you do your job. Yeah. So we're like, all right. And my dad had moved, when he moved to Australia, he had lived in Townsville, like, straight up. And he said it was a really nice place. I was like, all right, we'll go to Townsville. Sweet, that sounds good. Yeah. Turned out, like, he was so full of shit, and all the dudes that put SOER just passed and went straight in. Yeah. So we went to Townsville. I drove. It was funny. I was like, oh, we'll drive. Because I had a car. I was like, oh, we'll drive up. My mate Harley was like, yeah, sweet, I'll come with you. And I was like, yeah, cool. So I got extra money to take him. I didn't realize he didn't have his license. And so it was me driving the whole way. And we did it in like 24 hours. We went to my parents' place for the weekend, got all the beers and stuff, and had a fun weekend. And then we basically fanged it up to Townsville in like 24 hours. Like, So we got to Townsville in June 2010. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So then it was straight into it. we're at headquarters for a few weeks, just like bumbling around, waiting for someone to sort of take us, which was funny too, because we got to headquarters, actually we got up to town so real early, and we still had like 6 days worth of leave. I'm like, oh. Went and stayed on the Strand and stuff like that in a hotel, and just like lived it up. And like 2 days into that, we got a phone call from a warrant officer at headquarters. It's like, oh, I've heard you're in Townsville. And I was like, oh, yeah, we are. We got here heaps early. And he was like, well, you need to come back to base, like come on to base and start getting your shit organised. And being 19 and fresh, and then I was like, oh fuck, all right, so yeah, no worries. So we just fucking went in. Like we still had like 4 days worth of leave. I was like looking back, and I was like, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, what the fuck.
Anyway, we went in, and it was funny too, because they were like, oh, everyone's room's ready except for yours. And he points to me, and I was like, oh, sweet, all right. I was going to wait out then. And then just before knock off, he's like, oh, your room's ready. Here's your keys. Here it is. Sweet, all right, cool. And we went up to the court. And I walk in, and I'm like, fuck, this room looks a bit weird. What's going on here? And there's no bed. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. It's like Friday afternoon. Like it's 4 o'clock. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, I don't know who to call. And I was like, fucking hell, all right. So I spent the weekend sleeping on the stone floor in my sleeping bag. And I finally got to bed like midday like Wednesday or something. Like that. So, yeah, so that was fun. But so we were at headquarters for a bit, and then we got put into 18 Squadron, 21 troop, and they had all those dudes in that troop had come back from MRTF2, or engineers that has like served over in Afghanistan. So it was pretty cool to go straight into a troop with so much experience, and there's some really cool guys in there. They took us in really well, like teaching us and stuff like that. It was really good. It was a good reception. The boss there was probably the best boss I've ever had. Lieutenant McMahon. He was a sniper for 3R, I believe, and then he went over to shippies and lost his finger, and then went to officers, and I'm pretty sure that's his story. Yeah, right. But he was a really cool guy, like probably the best boss I've ever had. Really for the boys, like just a great leader. Like it was awesome. So that was a really good experience, like a good sort of, first experience to get into a squadron like that.
Yeah, awesome. What was the tempo like as far as was there continual trips going?
So basically we got up there and we did like one exercise, and then I think it was like a Hamel or something like that, one of your classics. And then they were like, all right, there's another trip coming up, in like 12 months time. And they started putting together the manning list straight away. And we had just happened to like catch the eye of one of the secos with just being fit and doing our jobs and stuff like that. And right. So me and Harley got popped onto a section, separate sections, for a trip in June 2011, to leave in June 2011. So we basically went straight into like training for that. Yeah. Which was like the tempo of that was really high. We were continuously going outfield, and then we went down to Woomera and did our search certification. So you have to be certified and pass the test of just for searching and stuff like that, and ordnance disposal stuff. Yeah. Before you go to Afghan, which was funny. We ended at Woomera and we stayed in the old detention center down there. So. Which was interesting. And the people that ran it, like they ran it like they were running like a SAS selection, like they cover their faces and fucking. Oh really? Yeah, it was ridiculous. And they were very it was like to the extreme of search. Like basically everything had to be like you were searching through a minefield. Like there was no levels to it. It was just like you have to do everything. Like it's the extreme of the extreme. Like no metal IEDs or no like low to no metal landmines everywhere. Basically like yeah. It was good though because it did reinforce a lot of the ideas of thinking about what I needed to think about when I was searching. Yeah. Like what kind of threat is there? Like what kind of ID could be here? Where's targetable? Like, that sort of stuff. Like
really ingrained it. Yeah,
we used the triangle, the aim type location. Like what's the aim of the ID? Like what's the type of the ID that could be in that area, and where could it be in this location, sort of thing. Yeah. That really ingrained that, which was good. The lead up was fun though because it was like outside of the army, because it was like all the boys were there and we were just 19, 20 years old and just being larrikins, getting out the piss and stuff. So
all knowing you're going to war soon and
pretty much. So it was like the extremes of everything, like most things with the army. Like we'd train really hard, we'd work really hard, and then when it's our time, we just let loose.
Hardy.
Like, yeah. It was it was good. It was fun. Like pre-Afghan was fun. Like as much as I didn't really like going outfield and stuff like that, like some of it just seemed pointless, but it was it was a really fun time.
No.
Yeah, it was good. Like
any memorable stories from fucking shenanigans up there?
I remember one. I don't know why this sticks out in my head, but it's pretty funny. Like, so I'm pretty sure we knocked off on like a Friday, and it was one of those days where everyone knocks off and was like running to their cars, like fuck yeah, end of the work week, like, and me, Gonads, and SG, like Joel jumped in his little XL. And he's just like fanging it, like just speeding, like, around to where we live. We all lived in the same court. And he's like fanging it when there was like this hill, and then you turn left into the court. But up the hill, up the road, that like next to it, there was a like a strip of grass, and it led into the court, like, and it was like a little ramp sort of thing to go in there. And Gonads is just fanging it. And then he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, it just turns and goes up the fucking grass and just like fucking like puts his foot down, and obviously didn't have arch power, it's an XL, but we literally launched this fucking car into the court. Like, we're fully airborne in this car, and we land, and I see somebody standing like right here, like I'm in the passenger seat, like right next to the car where we land. And there was this dude, and he had walked from his car across from where we landed and just stopped and was on his phone, and we literally missed him by like 6 inches. And I don't know, we just started fucking laughing. And he's obviously like screaming at us, calling us fucking idiots and stuff. And we're just laughing, like, just like, oh, fuck, that was close. Like,
it could have been a very different fucking day.
It could have been way worse. Like, it could have been horrible. But
was he drunk?
No. That was just, yeah.
Just wild.
Yeah, pretty much, man. That was just, it was just fun, man. Like, we just get up to mischief and stuff like that, and nothing too like nefarious, like not hurting anyone or anything like that, but just.
I remember I fucking same sort of thing, but we all got back to our place off base in Port Kennedy over in WA and started smashing piss, and we were like, fucking let's go out. And I had borrowed this chick's car who had gone to sea, and it was a brand new Ford Focus, like it only had a fucking few Ks on it. And I'm like, fucking, we'll take this car, and fucking, I'll drive. Got in the car. There was like 5 of us just stacked in this car, and just fucking punching. And wouldn't have even been a K from the house. And I'm like, fuck, I'm drunk. And then this fucking this roundabout, coming to this roundabout, had like a garden in the middle, and I haven't fucking got it. I just went straight through it. Nice. Yeah, nice. Bottomed out the car, fucking cracked something, and the whole thing died. There's 5 of us just pushing this car back again to our place. Put in the garage. Don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's like this when you left it.
Man, I remember there was a secco that used to get on some people's nerves, and he would park his car in one of the courts. And I remember like one night on the piss, everyone like picked it up. It was a small car, like an XL or something. Like or something like that. And everyone picked it up and turned it sideways. So it was in the carport sideways, and it was like an inch like from touching both beams. And instead of coming and being like, all right, boys, that was funny, like, good on you, fucking, all right, now help me move. Because we were ready for that. We were waiting for him to come over and be like, all right, boys, can you help me move? Like, yeah, sure. He gets in it and he just does like the Austin Powers, like going until it comes out. And I was like, fucking hell, man, like, we would have helped you move it. But, yeah.
Just out of spite.
Yeah, it was, so the pre-Afghan was fun, man. It was just like, and then playing sport and stuff like that and going to the gym, like, it was good.
Did you continue any martial arts stuff?
I visited a couple of places up there, did some jiu-jitsu, like at a few different places, but I just didn't really like have the time, like, and I didn't want to be like, all right, well, I can just not go to the gym or not run and then go to jiu-jitsu instead, like, because I really wanted, like, I enjoyed running and lifting, so I was kind of like, I had to sacrifice one of those.
Yeah.
I did have one wrestling match in the lines. That was actually at Kapuka. And a dude who was there, he was going to SIGs, big, sort of nerdy dude, sorry. And he said he was a purple belt, and this is in 2009. As I said before, like, purple belts were as rare as hand Steve back then, and I'd done a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and I was still a white belt, but I was like, you're full of shit. Like, I got to called him out, and I was like, let's wrestle right fucking now. And like on stone floors in the barracks, like at Kapuka, and I like, he's like, all right. And I just grabbed his collar and like collar dragged him down into my guard and like guillotined him in like 5 seconds, and then I was like choking him. That was when one of the corporals come in and actually had a chat with me about like jiu-jitsu and stuff, because he did jiu-jitsu as well. So it was pretty funny. And then I'd had a few boxing matches at IETs on the basketball courts in between the troops and stuff. I came out one night and these two dudes were sparring, I was like, oh, can I jump in? Like, yeah, sure, yeah. And then all of a sudden, a big fucking group of people like circled around, and and it went from sparring to like a full on fight. I remember just like, I just had the head work and the footwork, like to sort of like, that was just like that next level above like sort of everyone else. So it was pretty easy. And then I sparred this big dude named Burger, and he had boxed before, and like he was a cool dude. I really got along with him, and I remember like I was just bobbing and weaving. He was fucking massive, and I remember someone being like, "Just fucking stand still." I was like, "Fuck off!" And he ended up chinning me at one point. And I just like sat on my bum, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I got up real quick, but then like just called it after that. But no real like proper trainer from there, just physical training. After that, I didn't get back into martial arts until after I left, and then it became like a real fucking more serious sort of thing.
Yeah. So, what was how was the trip? What was it like heading over there?
So right before we went, so I was all sort of ready, and then right before we went, I started second guessing myself a little bit. Like I think I just kind of thought it was going to be like the Warmer Search certification, and like second guessed myself a little bit, but sort of shook that off and went. But so we left in June 2011, and I think we were some of the first engineers to go on MTF3. It was an experience, that's for sure. Like like anything in the army, it was it's a mix of extreme fun times and larrikinism, and extreme like stressful situations and shitty times.
90% boredom, 10% action, or a bit more for you guys?
We were pretty busy. Like we were not like, I'm not like, well, we're getting shot at every day. Not like that. But like it was just busy. Like it was high tempo. So I was attached. I was in what they call a high risk search section. So I was a searcher in like a team, and we were attached to B34, which is the Cav unit up in Townsville. And my job was to make sure that the convoys doing all the resupply runs get to where they're going, like sort of thing. So we would be like in a convoy of vehicles, and we'd be in the first vehicle, and then we'd get out at any stretches of road where we were targetable, like where the vehicle can't go off the road. It has to go on the road, and that is targetable. And had a history of IEDs, or whether we saw something or anything like that, and when we'd search through. And then when it comes to like a bigger vulnerable point, like a bridge or a culvert, like a drain going through the road or something like that, or like a valley where it's just road in the middle, we would get out and do a more thorough search, where it's like isolating the vulnerable point and then searching through. So that was my job. So we were really busy. And then the second part of my job was valley clearances. We would get attached to whatever company of grunts was in that valley, and then we would search the valley from like one end to the other, search look for caches, go through people's compounds, photograph and fingerprint anyone that's fighting age male, and then the higher ups, like the officers and stuff, would chat to the locals and like authority figures in the area and stuff like that, and we would either be patrolling, which where we would just patrol along with the grunts and everyone else, and then when targetable area comes up, we have to walk through. We would search through. And advise on where to sort of walk and stuff like that. And
you're finding many IEDs?
A few, but we found a lot of caches on those, like lots of like hidden IEDs, weapons, ammunition, like stuff like that. And then they had a whole system of photographing people, and then like recognizing fingerprints and all that sort of stuff with fighting age males.
Yep.
Or if we went patrolling and we were doing a valley clearance, we would be doing rolling overwatches and just like searching the roads, setting up an overwatch for the vehicle so the ASLAVs and stuff can come in and then provide support and watch over everyone else patrolling through. And then as they move, we would continuously roll on and search overwatches and stuff like that. So my job didn't really change no matter what the mission was. We would just like search. That was it.
Yeah. When you say you're collecting fingerprints and stuff, are you like fingerprinting the weapons in the caches and matching
not
it to...
me, but the weapon intelligence team, they do all that. Yeah, they would fingerprint.
Matching it to people that you've...
Yeah, and so they would like find something, and like we'd bring in an ID or a cache, they'd get fingerprints off it, they'd put it in the system, and then we'd fingerprint someone, or not me, but grunts or whatever.
Yeah.
Would fingerprint someone and then ping him like, oh, this dude handled this ID at one point, like sort of thing. But yeah, I wasn't really involved in that, which is more just my job was just search. Like I would just search,
No, it's interesting. No, it's like more to it than just fucking walking around waiting for things to happen. You're actually
that's right.
investigating.
And we were also, that was the beginning of us handing over to the ANA. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize that is when we left Afghan, like, 2021 or whatever it was, and everyone was like, oh, we just up and left. And we'd been doing that for so long already. Like, we were handing patrol bases back to the ANA in 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
So that had been going for a long time.
Yeah. There were so many training missions that went on over there.
Yep.
Guys just doing full trips for 6 months of training Afghan soldiers.
Yeah, and we would like team up with Afghan soldiers and stuff like that, and their engineers and stuff, and like go on patrols with them, and the AMP as well, the police, which was always interesting. But we were like, we go to a patrol base. Like I remember on the Mirabad Valley clearance, we once we went past that patrol base, it was theirs. Like once we all left, took all that shit, and the ANA like took over that patrol base that was theirs to handle it. I think
Did they manage to hold them?
Oh, for several minutes. I know one of them ended up getting JDAM'd because they abandoned it, and they heard they got intel that the Talibs were going to take it. So yeah, they just fucking called in a JDAM on it and blew the whole thing up. But it was a busy trip, and it was a trip that was marked with like a number of deaths and a lot of injuries, and it was a high tempo trip. It was a trip that it was like I've talked to a lot of people, and it's kind of like, I was there for months, and then I kind of got a little wake up call. It's like our wake up call was straight away. Like, we got into Dubai in June, and you get all your equipment and stuff like that, and we literally did a ramp ceremony in Dubai for Lieutenant Case, I believe. He had died in a helicopter crash just before we'd left. And then we landed in Afghan and TK, and Sapper Roll Robinson had been killed, and he was previously at 3CR before going down to SOER.
Yeah, right.
So the SF boys invited us to his ramp ceremony, so that was straight away.
Made it real.
Yeah, straight away. Yeah, so we're like, oh fuck, this is actually happening. Like, we're doing this.
Yeah, especially a sapper as well.
Yeah, and then it wasn't long. I think August. So we started doing resupply runs and stuff like that, and then in August, we had two big things happen. So on the 22nd of August, Matty Lambert died, and he was attached to B34 as well. He lived in the room next to me. We had worked with him a lot. Like, I wasn't his best friend or anything like that. Like, but we worked together, and we got woken up early one morning and told that he had stepped on an IED and passed away.
Yeah.
So that was pretty, devastating for a lot of boys.
Was he in the same base and stuff in that deployment, or back in Brisbane?
No, on deployment. So he lived literally next door to me, and we'd done he'd come on convoys and clearances and stuff like that, and we were working with that sniper section.
Yeah,
fairly closely. So yeah, it was pretty full on. And then
what happens in that case? Do you guys go back for the ramp ceremony for that as well? Or?
There was a ramp ceremony, and it was like on national television and stuff like that, and I've seen it, but we weren't there. I had to ask someone else because my memory is not real great. I've seen photos of myself in Afghan and not even remembered doing it. So if I get any dates or anything wrong, I apologize. But we were out on another convoy, I think, when the ramp ceremony happened, because I remember seeing the photos and stuff like that and being like, "Fuck, where was I?" And I had to message one of my mates and being like, "Why didn't we go to this? Why weren't we there?" Because all the snipers were there and half our grunts and stuff were there. And he was just like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're out on a convoy already. Like, we were straight out." We had a pretty good wake for him though. Like, at TK there, got pretty wild. SF boys brought over some booze for us, and
nice.
And we had been making our own or brewing our own ciders in our room. My Sacco, my Sacco. He figured out how to do that. In like they had like protein buckets and stuff, and put all the brewer's yeast and all that sort of stuff in there, and then we'd go out in a clearance and you put it under the bed and punched an air like an airlock in the top of it and stuff, and we come back and then we bottle it. He bottled it and put it in the fridge, and then we go out in another clearance, come back, and it was good to go. So
Okay.
yeah, it was like
Doesn't take too long.
Oh, you had to drink it through your teeth though. But we were going like some of these clearances would take weeks. So
okay.
so it was over a fair bit of time. But yeah, you had to drink it through your teeth, all the floaties and stuff in there. Oh, it was pretty haggard. But yeah, the wake got pretty crazy, which was fun. And then also in August, we had a pretty big IED strike as well that sort of changed the direction of my life significantly. We were going out to do a resupply run to Wali, I believe, in the Mirabad Valley, and there was this road called Route Whale, and it was like infamous for being shit. And another convoy had been hit, and we were out there, and we're like, all right, we'll run out there and grab it, help them get back.
They're under fire.
No, they just been hit by an IED, and we were going to go out to help them, like pick up, like retrieve their vehicle and stuff like that, and bring them back. And we'd been told, or I got told, that the road had been searched and had eyes on, so we didn't need to search, so we just banged it out there. Hooked up the vehicle to like a Recce-Mec vehicle, I think, and got all the dudes. And the only space we had in the convoy for the dudes that had just been blown up was in our vehicle, the front vehicle. So we get in our vehicle.
No injury?
None from that one, no. And so we're like, we're going to head back and take these boys back. So we get in the vehicle, and it's me, Crouchy, Cowie, so 3 engineers sitting on one side. The Cav boys that were just in their IED strike were across from me. There was a grunt sitting next to me, and then Quirky, the medic, he got up on the gun. And and because I always like to get on the gun because I fucking hated sitting in those seats with body armor on, just to fry my back. Mm-hmm. And so I always just try and get on the gun. But he was like, you might need to prep equipment and stuff, man. It was like search, so just say seat. I was like, all right, sick, that's cool. And so I'm sitting in there. I'm just expecting like a cruisy run back to the thing. So I put my headphones in. I'm just like swapping batteries in my labs and stuff like that, just like chilling. Yeah. And then we got, I don't know, 5 minutes down the road, not even that, and then I'm fucking bang. Dude had a command pull IED, so a kite string connected to 2 anti-tank mines and a culvert that had been missed under the ground. And so it was like two anti-tank mines stacked on top of each other, and the circuit was hooked up and then there was like a peg, and they usually put like foil or like the wires on the end of the peg, and then a kite string with a bit of wood. So when you pull this kite string, peg closes, connects the circuit, detonates. Yeah. So that was hit right underneath my seat.
Yeah, right.
Wasn't wearing my seatbelt because I was prepping equipment. So fucking went flying, hit the roof of the inside of the bushy, like head first. So like Crouchy and Cowie, they weren't wearing the seatbelts either. The bushy went up on the end, did a couple of turns, and then landed back down like bottom first. All the wheels and everything was gone. Went through a fucking wall on the side of the road and shit. I was down at the front of the vehicle by that stage. I was winded. Something hit me in the face. My nose was like a sausage. Mm-hmm. My neck was like fucking on fire.
Smashed your head into the roof.
Yeah. And my neck and my upper back was just like immediately was like on fire. I was like, fuck, this sucks. And anyway, we just went straight into, training, sort of like all that training, like responding stuff. And I remember the grunt that was sitting next to me, he's just starts fucking screaming like, Quirky, where the fuck are you? Like as he was in the gun. And he had fucking flown like 30 meters down the road.
Yeah, right.
I picked up the mine lab that I was putting batteries in. The fucking snapped in half. And Cowie had like bent his rifle, like he'd come down his rifle somehow and like bent the barrel of it. So we got out. I think Snowy was one of the first out, and the Cav guys that were in the front because they were like pretty good to go. And then the grunt next to me, they were the first guys down there. I got out, went down.
Was this dude with the kite string?
He was gone. As soon as he pulled, he ran. Oh, okay. We did get word much later that I believe American SF had got him, which was cool. So we just
ran down and found Quirky.
Yeah, ran down there. The SOP for doing that was completely abandoned. Like there was no fucking searching up doing it. Just basically just run. Got down there and some of this I had forgotten, and I actually had to I listened to a podcast of Quirky and him talking about it, and I was like, oh fuck, that's right. I totally like my mind had just blanked that out. But he was like, yeah, not in a good way. Like both femurs were through the skin. I remember at least one of them was through the skin.
Fuck.
His hand was like fucking cut in half across there. It was like folded back. Like I'm pretty sure his arm was open fractured as well. And I just went into like fucking making a donut bandage for this femur that's sticking through the skin and fucking pulling his legs together and stuff and doing the splint on the legs and shit. And then, and then we're doing that, getting him good to go. And then obviously like CFAs and stuff came down and started working on him, and I just went into security.
Yeah.
And then we heard the ASLAVs coming over the hill from the patrol base, and they just fucking just rocket running out of there as soon as they heard we got hit. And that was like the best sound I ever heard in my life. It was like the whirring of they make this like whirring sound, sounds like a remote control car. And like them coming over here, I was like, thank fuck. Like I was white. I was like, I spewed in my mouth and stuff. Like I was fucked. And then I don't really remember much after that, but I remember getting out and like picking up the stretcher and walking with it. I don't really remember much after that, to be honest. And then I remember being back at the patrol base after that. And the dude, I know the cav dude across from me, he got stretchered out and they thought he had broken his back. I never actually found out what eventually happened to him.
Yeah. What happened to you?
I got 4 bulging discs, so 2 on my neck, 2 on my upper back. One of the vertebrae is like degenerated now. And then the nerve that controls my right bicep, these 3 fingers have had some damage. So these 3 fingers don't have like full dexterity and stuff. So so my 5-year-old has better riding than me. I mean, riding has always been shit. Like,
that's your excuse anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I aggravated it a couple of years ago real badly. And I lost like 50 to 60% of my strength in my right arm. It was fucking useless. Like, had some bicep atrophy and stuff. Not enough for anyone else to notice, but enough for me to notice. But it was fucking scary because like I couldn't use my arm and shit. But
what about at the time? Did you stay on job? Or?
Yep. So they were basically like, oh no, there's no one to replace you. Like, and I didn't want to leave. Like I was just like, oh fuck, I'm right. Like, but the weeks following that, I'd be on the road for 10 minutes, and then I'd get pulled off, and they'd be like, I can see you're in pain, man. Just fucking go sit down. I was like, okay. Right. Yeah, it was fucked. My back was just on fire, neck was on fire. Like, I basically was just smashing painkillers for the next until February the following year.
So they're from June to Feb. Yep.
Which is not great.
And the injury happened in August. So
yeah. So I was just smashing painkillers the entire time, basically. And any time we were in TK and we got like a spare minute, I'd go down to the physio and try and get him to like work on my back and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Not that it fucking did or anything. But and then Crouchy, he was my brick to IC. We were really close. He was a cool dude. He was a really good dude. We used to call him Mr. Potato Head. He was like the guy that like all the best memories I have in Afghanistan are like me and him just fucking doing dumb shit, like pranks on each other and stuff like that. He was a really cool guy. He, from what I understand, he suffered like a small brain injury from it or something along those lines, and that eventually, from what I understand, that eventually led to his death last year.
Oh, really?
Or like that was part of it. I think there was a few other factors in there as well, but that was one of them. Because he obviously hit the roof going pretty fucking fast as well. He was a funny dude though. We used to just hang shit on each other all the time. Like I remember he used to he'd be in his bunk and he'd have like a little fucking like a curtain up when he's talking to his wife and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have my ass like hanging through the top of the curtain like while he's fucking talking to her and shit. Like he tried to get me back one day and he got up on the so it was just me and him in the room and I walked out to go to the toilet and his plan was to get up on the top bunk next to the door, hang his ass over the door, and then as I walk in his ass would be like right here in front of my face. And I'd passed our troop sergeant as I was walking to the toilet. And so he got up there, hang his ass over, and then the sergeant walked in and he was fucking right here. He was a cool dude. So anyway, back to the strike. We went back to the patrol base, and then our vehicle got hooked up and dragged back. And then we went back to TK, and then I think it was like maybe a day or two later, we were back on the road searching and stuff. So
yeah, right.
Straight back into it.
That was only August, so you got fucking September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, fucking. Yeah. Did it get more and more hairy or?
Well then, I can't remember, October, I think. We had the insider attack at Sauk Bed as well, and that resulted in three deaths. And
that was a playing cards one.
That was the one on the parade.
Oh, okay.
That was Luke Gavin, Bert, and Cap Duffy. We responded to that to reinforce Sauk Bed. But obviously, by the time we got there, it was fucking all done and dusted. We just went there to sort of reinforce them. And it's funny because that was honestly the most scariest moment in Afghan. And when people ask me about what was the scariest thing like you happened over there, and I think people get surprised when I say this is the scariest moment was that when I found out about that, because my mate Harley, he was supposed to be at that patrol base. Last time I'd heard from him, he was at that patrol base and he was the engineer there. And then when we heard there'd been 3 deaths there, and they wouldn't release the names, and I instantly thought, I was like, oh, fuck it is him. And that honestly, that was the scariest moment, was like waiting to find out who had been killed. He'll call me super gay for saying that for sure. But yeah, that was definitely was one of the scariest moments. Like waiting to hear who had been killed for sure.
How long did it take you to get over there? While you're worrying about it?
I think it was a couple of hours before we actually got to Sauk Bed. I think it was a few hours, I think, because we had to like bomb up and go out there and reinforce them. I think it's a long time ago.
You just fucking driving over there, peeking the whole time.
Pretty much, man. Yeah. And like getting out, and then we had to search as well, like trying to concentrate on searching and get about that. So that's pretty shit.
He loves you, Harley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool name too.
Yeah. And then what else happened? Like we just and that was just straight back into it, just searching and shit like that. And there was a few other incidents and stuff like that, and a few clearances and
any contacts?
No real contacts. I think we had one thing where someone took a pot shot at us while we were checking out a bridge to see if we could support a bushy. But the AMP dealt with that. Like that didn't eventuate anything. So it was just IED strikes and searching basically the whole time.
Yeah.
But it was a busy trip. Like we was full on. We were real busy the whole time, like working and.
Any funny stories of working with the ANA or?
Yeah, they were just fucking annoying, to be honest. Like, like they would just go through your shit. Like you literally like had to watch all your stuff all the time. Like you come back and they'd be fucking pilfering your ration packs and shit, stealing your shit. They were just fucking annoying, man. Like, and the AMP half the time they were just high as kites, like smoking. I don't know what they were smoking, but they were smoking something, and they'd be walking along with a flower in the end of their barrels and stuff, and picking flowers and shit, and just doing dumb shit. Like,
did you hear the one with Chris Larkham talking about the working with ANA?
Oh no!
On patrol, and he'd turn around and they're holding hands, skipping.
Oh yeah,
picking apples.
Yeah, they were all about that. Yeah, they were all about that. Like
smoking opium and weed.
Yep. Oh yeah. That happened a fair bit. You'd see him like taking drugs and shit. Like, yeah. No, I didn't trust him much, and we didn't have too much contact with them, doing resupply runs and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
It was only when we did like valley clearances and shit like that. Like, but no, we were super busy, and it was good too because like that sort of like larrikinism kind of like still happened. It was good.
Yeah.
Like one thing, I don't know why, I just remembered this was we got this OC and he always said something about going to the hilt. I can't remember exactly what the context was, but he used to always use the word hilt. And it was my Sacco. He decided that they were going to buy like a dildo sword and mount it on a plaque for him as like a thing and be like, oh, the hilt's going to the hilt. Like, and anyway, like it was in our room and I don't know who got a hold of it, but we fucking like cut a Jap sign on the end of it and like covered it in peanut butter. And I went into one of my mates' rooms who was like in the Connex that's next to us, and Rossi, he was asleep. And I fucking started whacking him in the head with this fucking dildo. And like he starts raging. And I'm like, fuck, and I just drop it and run. And I run out of the Connex and I turn back and look at the door and I just see this fucking dildo just go just like flying through the air. Like it was funny. Like it was good though, because like it didn't matter how shit things got over there or how stressful it was. Like there was always like people taking the piss and just joking around and all that sort of stuff. That was, I think that's super important.
Yeah, it gets you through for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the hardest times when you're just fucking shooting the shit.
Yeah, 100%. Like
fucking get you through.
Yeah, and I think that's like, when we look back on, like we was talking about before, like you're swapping stories with dudes, and there's always the same stories. Like you're just talking shit the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We did almost have a really bad incident, a non-combat related incident, so part of our job is to do ordnance disposal. And we had a Connex that was just full of ordnance, like just random shit that people had put in there over the years and stuff. And half of it was out of date. And they're like, all right, you need to go to the DEMS range here at TK and dispose of it. I'm like, sick, that sounds awesome. Like just fucking blowing shit up for a day. Like that sounds like a massive stress reliever.
Yeah.
And so we go out, we're just like setting shit up and blowing it up, and like locals kept coming onto the DEMS range, and so we're like firing pen flares at them and like, popping smoke and shit to tell them like to get them to fuck off. And then it was like I think it was the last charge that was setting up. It was massive, like fucking way huge. Like we were like a K from it. And it felt like someone punched me in the chest when it like it was massive. And anyway, my mate Gonads had been told to go up and take a terp and tell these civvies to fuck off. And he's like, oh, I'll do it once I'm finished this, setting this thing up. It's like, yeah, cool. Anyway, another person in our section had taken it upon themselves to take a terp, and I think one A&A dude or something like that, and to go up and didn't tell anyone he was going up there, and just went up to tell these civvies to fuck off and finish setting up the whole thing. Go back to the vehicles. Everyone's forgotten about this dude, where he's gone. And we fire on. So like, the wick's lit. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. Like it's going.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I'm in the vehicle and he starts like walking down the hill, like
towards the explosion.
Towards this massive charge that we've set up. And then for some reason our driver didn't say anything, which was weird. And then eventually like everyone kind of realized like, fuck. Holy fuck, like he's gonna fucking die, like, and there's nothing we can do. Everyone's fucking screaming, like we're dudes on fucking megaphones and shit, like everyone's fucking yelling and stuff like that. Like, holy fuck, he's gonna die. There's nothing we can do about it, he's gonna die. And then at the last minute, he finds some dead ground, like 150 meters from the charge, like pretty close, and just lays down in this dead ground with this interpreter and stuff.
So he knew that it was about to.
Yeah, I think he obviously figured it out. I was like,
yeah.
oh fuck, like, and he lays down in the dead ground. And I'm like, fuck, like we're gonna witness a death here. Like this is fucked. Anyway, it detonates, it's fucking massive. And as soon as it detonates, like as soon as it finished detonating, everyone's just like out of the back of the vehicles, like fucking sprinting down there. We had the sergeant, I'd never fucking seen him run before in his life. And he was like watching Usain Bolt, like he's like in front of everyone, like fucking just going for it. Anyway, he just like gets up out of the dead ground, like nothing happened, just boop, 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 boop. Yeah, it was like, fucking Christ. Like, holy shit. Like, I was like,
massive relief.
It was like, no, like, he was just kind of like, oh, that was loud. Like, just so blasé about it. I was like, holy fuck, man. Like, yeah, some people got in trouble over that, but yeah, that was, that could have been real bad. Like,
fucking oath.
Yeah, so.
Would have been a whole different story if you
Yeah, yes, I think so. That's, but they were, yeah. Far out. Yeah, but no, so yeah, it was basically, that was the trip. Like there was a few other incidents and stuff, and some hairy stuff there.
Where'd you go for your rockall?
Thailand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I wanted to see my family, but I was like, if I go back to Australia, I lose like a day here, a day there, and I was kind of like, I don't really want to see any of my civvy friends. I just want to see my family. Yeah. And so I was like, I'll meet halfway and we'll go to Thailand. Sweet. So we went to Phuket.
Sweet. That was some lady boys.
Yeah. And it was just a mess. Like, yeah, like, and honestly, it was weird too, because I thought, like, I was like, yeah, it'd be fun. Like, we'll go there, hang out. Like, my brother went there as well. So I was like, we'll just get on the piss and stuff. And like, hang out with my family during the day. Me and my brother can go out at night, like, that sort of thing. Like, it'll be good.
Oh, true. So you had mum, dad, and brother?
Yep.
Yeah.
And his then wife.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was kind of like, yeah, this will be sick. But honestly, like 3 days in, I was kind of like, I want to be back in Afghan. Like, this is fucking, yeah. I was like, I don't want to be here. It was kind of.
Just because you knew it was still going on, the boys were there?
Yeah, I think so. And kind of like, there's this feeling I get now as a parent, and I think any other parent will probably like relate, is where like if you go out and your significant other is at home with the kids and they're having a hard time, you like want to rush whatever you're doing and get back to help. Like that's the feeling I have now. And so that was the feeling I had then. I was just like, fuck, I just want to like, can I cut this fucking rockall short and just go back? Like, I don't want to fucking be here. Like, so I kind of got, by the end of it, like my mum was pretty good about it. She kind of realized like, oh, she's like, oh, you really want to get back there? I was like, yeah, I do. And I was surprised too. She really understood. Yeah, it was funny too, because Dad had been like cutting newspaper articles out and like gathering all the stuff for my trip, and like that would be in the media and stuff like that. And I was just like, I like, he kind of got shit to me later on about it, but I was kind of like, just lied about so much shit. Like he had like a picture of like my strike, and he was like, "Fucking, you were near there." I was like, "Oh, I was kind of near there," like just
The one that was under your ass.
yeah, like I totally just fucking lied about all that. Yeah. And I just lied about heaps of shit. And I remember he got shit with me later, and I was just like, oh, why, like, and it was funny too because like years later, like literally this year, my wife went to a musical with my dad. So my dad's favorite musical was Les Mis, which is funny as fuck because my dad is like a classic stereotypical miner. Like if you saw him and you'd be like, what's that guy's profession? You'd be like, he's an underground miner for sure. Like he fucking looks like it. Like
He's got salt on his face.
Oh man, yeah. He's like, and he's just a little hairy, like gnome miner guy. Like, so like for him to like a musical was just funny. Like, and they went and my wife told me like they had actually had a chat and said like, me going over there was like super stressful for him. Like, and he was fucking, as soon as he saw anything on the news, any mention of the Middle East, he'd fucking like jump on the TV, like was always Googling shit. Like, and for me being at 20 over there, like I'm my 21st birthday in Afghan, like, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, because you're so in that mindset of like, oh, if I do my job well, then I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
invincible.
Yeah. It was interesting. That's for sure.
As a parent now, you can probably relate to how it would feel.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like and I've had that question a few times. Like, would you let your kids join the military? It's like, yeah, there'd be a long conversation before that. Yeah, like I wouldn't say I'd never say like no, but like there would be a long conversation as to, and that's what. And I've had guys at the jiu-jitsu like hit me up about like, oh, I'm thinking about joining the military. Oh, all right, why? Why do you want to join? What's your reasoning? Because when it gets shit and you fucking hate it, like you need to be like, well, this is why I joined.
Yeah.
Like if you just join willy-nilly and then when it gets real shit, like I'm not even talking like when it gets hard. I mean, it's just like, you've been kept back at work for 6 hours because someone's lost an MVG and it's actually in the Q store, that sort of situation.
Yeah, just
like you need to be
sucks,
like, all right, why am I here? Why did I join? What's the initial thing? Like you need to kind of remember that. Like, so there would always be that conversation. I think if my kids decided they wanted to join.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we did Rockall and then went straight back and straight back into it. So it was pretty much halfway through I did that. And Thailand was just it was just me getting drunk basically at night time and hanging out with my family during the day and that was it. I was probably pretty tame compared to most people. Like I've heard some stories from my mates that went to like Rome and stuff, and I was pretty behaved. So.
You had your family there during the day too.
Keep me
reel it in a bit. Yeah,
I think so. And I was in Phuket too, and you can get in like a lot of trouble real fast in Phuket.
Phuket is fucking sin city.
Yeah,
anything goes.
Never going back there, man. It's and not even for that reason. Like, but it was just like annoying. Like people come out and try to sell you shit. Like I ended up just pretending like I didn't speak English like for most of the time. I just like I knew a few French words and I'd say a couple of French words and they'd leave me alone, sort of thing.
It's the carnies fucking. It's a bit of a skill to bypass.
Oh man,
you just got to not engage. Saying no is engaging.
Yeah,
and they'll fucking take that as a challenge and fucking push even harder. So you just got to just don't engage. Don't even look at them.
Yeah, that's definitely where I went wrong. I'm like, fuck off.
That is annoying. I guess the smaller towns have less of that, but also less things. Yeah.
Less ways to get in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Muay Thai is awesome. The beaches are great.
Yeah, I saw some sweet Muay Thai gyms over there. My plan was always to go back and like train and stuff like that there, but that's never happened. Like, and I've heard of some horror stories about dudes training in Thailand as well. Like staff is rife.
It depends where you go because the big gyms are very, very fucking strict with cleanliness. Yeah.
I guess you hear the horror stories, you don't hear the good ones. Like So, yeah.
No, I think they mop the floors twice a day and sanitize everything. And
more than they do here.
More than they do. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they fucking sweat so much. You sweat so much over there, right?
Yeah, the humidity and stuff like that is just rife for it.
Yeah. I've never sweat in Australia as much as I have in Thailand. Just fucking wring your fucking shirt out. You know?
That's like Townsville in summertime. Training gi in Townsville in the summertime.
Oh yeah,
it's horrible, man. You basically all your wrestling goes out the window because you can't shoot on anyone, you can't do throws because the mats are so wet. As soon as you go throw someone or you shoot for something, just like whoop, you're just like oh okay, I'm just sitting down now.
Oh yeah, man. Some fucking jiu-jitsu in the middle of summer and, you know, you don't have an undershirt on because it's so fucking hot. And dudes have got like fucking hairy chests and they're rubbing their fucking chest hair.
Oh, man. Yeah. At my first gym in Townsville, there was an older guy like that, like big grey hairy chest, and you'd like pass this guy, go to side control, and your face would hit his chest, and you could hear it just like sliding across his chest. You're like, ooh, that's disgusting. Like, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Man. Like,
or long hair. Someone's fucking.
it goes in your mouth. And
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. I had that with we were on a roll with like girls, like, and you'd be like taking their back, and you're like,
and
like
it's all,
choking on
it's
their
like,
hair.
it's
like,
all
like, oh,
thick, wet with sweat.
so
and
gross,
it's just
man. Yeah.
you breathe it in.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So gross.
Best sport in the world.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I train at two different gyms at the moment, and there's a girl that trains at the gym I've just started, another gym I've just started at, and she's never really sweaty. So whenever I like go to drill with her or roll with her, and I'm like just a sweaty animal.
You feel bad.
I'm like, oh sorry, I'm like real sweaty. And she's like, oh it's fine. And I'm like on top of her, like see I sweat drop on her face. I feel real bad. Like, yeah.
That's the worst, hey? When you're fucking in mountain, you fucking see sweat
in
fall.
slow-mo. Yeah, especially if it goes in their mouth. You're like, oh, sorry, man. So bad.
Oh, fuck. So you got out of there in Feb and then back to Townsville?
Yep. So back to Townsville. And yeah, this was like the third sort of like the third segment. So pre-Afghan and then, you know, like, and then post. So yeah. And,
led war.
Yep. Yeah. And this was probably the worst part, experience. I think. And I think it's probably similar with most people when they come back from deployment. I felt like our leave was really short. Like we got back and it was like 2 weeks and then we're straight back into it basically. And man, I was in a lot of physical pain at the time and I was just tired. Like I was just wrecked. And that kind of led to me developing a really shit attitude about everything. And I was just like, you become jaded sort of thing. Like, and it didn't matter what anyone said or offered or did. I was just going like, this is fucking shit. Like it was a poor attitude I definitely had. And yeah, so it was just, we got back and then like no courses were planned for us for the year. So it was basically just going to be a year of like going outfield and that sort of stuff. And there were so many dudes that were just in the worst places. Like they'd come back and they'd have to try and rebuild their relationships or their personal lives. And we're just like, oh, you're going straight back outfield, boys. It's like, are you serious, dude? Like, you know, these dudes are like trying to repair their marriages. They're like on the cusp of divorce and you're like worrying about us going out and playing enemy party for fucking 3 hour. Like, it was just ridiculous. But, and there's so many dudes were broken too. Like so many dudes had injuries and stuff like that weren't being, you know, seen to.
What was the medical system like back then?
Horrible. Absolutely horrible, man. Like one point they were like, oh, the muscles in one side of your back have like kind of like stretched out. They need to be pulled back. You need to like have your shoulder strapped back and stuff. And they were like, you need to come in like every day and get strapped. And I was like, oh, okay then. So I'd like rock up to the physio, the rapper, and they'd be like, no, you need to book in. I'm like, where the fuck am I supposed to do that? Like, you know, and so I just ended up like strapping myself like for a while. Then I'll get one of my mates to do it sort of thing, like this half-ass shit job. You know, it was just horrible. Like, and we had a pretty infamous doctor for 3CR, Eastern European guy, and it was like everything was just like no PT 2 weeks. Like that was it. Like I did my what I know now is I did my meniscus in like 2010 playing soccer, and he like my knee was like a giant black tit, and he's like, yeah, no PT 2 weeks. And he did that 3 times until my swelling went my knee down. And I was just like, I'm like 19. I'm like, okay. Like, you know, and then like I found out when when my meniscus fully exploded in like 2014, they're like, oh yeah, there's some previous damage in there. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like,
it was horrible. Do you have the same sort of downgrade system fucking back then?
Yeah.
J3 for...
Yep. So
I didn't get downgraded?
Yeah, heaps. I was like, it was like a fucking yo-yo of me getting upgraded, downgraded. Cause, and then like I never really pushed it to try and get like scans and things like that checked out. It was shit because as soon as I get upgraded, I go out field, wouldn't be able to do any rehab or strength training. Like I'd lose weight and then things would flare up. And obviously like pack marching and shit like that and all that sort of stuff didn't help. You know, and then I'd come back, get medically downgraded and like, you know, and then, you know, it was just like a yo-yo of that. And then in 2013, I got called down to headquarters. I don't know why. I just went down there. And obviously my mental health was like going down the drain at this point too because I was just fucking hating life and in physical pain and stuff. So I went down to headquarters. I don't know why I was there. There was a bunch of people waiting there and they just called me into a room. It's like a big meeting room there and there's like a bunch of civvies I've never seen before and the XO and a bunch of other officers and stuff I like had no interactions with. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, am I in trouble? I'm getting charged for something. Like, oh, fuck, what have I done? Like, send us some scandalous emails. Like, and anyway, it turned out it was a medical review board and they were starting the process of medically discharging me.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh, fuck, all
What
right
the
then.
fuck?
Like, and that was like, I didn't really get told about that at all. Or what, and I didn't know the repercussions of that at all. And I was kind of like, fuck, I just want to get out and like go do something else, like so be a copper or something like that. So I was just like, oh, fuck, like, I'm going to.
Had you been downgraded for a while?
Yeah. And I was like, and the XO was just like, you good to go? And I was like, oh, I guess. Like, what is this about? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm good to go on some things. Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, I was just like confused, and so I was just like, yeah, sure. I'm gonna discharge myself anyway soon, like as soon as my time's up. So, yeah, I guess. And he's like, yeah, cool. And they just upgraded me, and then I just fucking dealt with it basically until I put my discharge in.
Yeah, right.
And then I quickly found out that I couldn't pass a medical for a lot of jobs. As soon as they saw like, my medical records or, I went to actually see a doctor and they're like, oh, your fucking neck's fucked. Like your back's fucked. Like you've got this, your knee's fucked. Like, and I had knee surgery as well. Like as soon as I left, literally like I left. So I took leave end of 2013 and then I think I was officially discharged start of 2014. And I blew my meniscus out like 2 weeks later. So I had to quickly find out how to get private health insurance.
I was going to say self-funded. Yeah.
Yeah. So I called a bunch of places. I met my now wife, then girlfriend as well. At that time, and she was like, "Oh, we'll just call places, explain what's going on, and then like surely some place will offer you like to take you on straight away." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, okay." So I called Defence Health, and they was like, "Yeah, sweet, yep, that's cool." Pay for it straight away. I was like, "Sick." So it worked out well, luckily.
Yeah, nice. What was the transition process like?
Yeah, pretty shit. Yeah, I didn't deal with it well.
Were you planning on staying in long term, or was it always just a short term?
Nah, when I initially joined, I was like, "Oh, this is me. I'm good. Like, this is me forever," sort of thing. And then, like, getting back and coming back was just fucked. Like, I just hated it. Everyone hated it. There were so many dudes just rocking up to work like drunk on drugs. Like, dudes were having full episodes and stuff. Like, getting pretty dark, like real dark. There was some times when some people's lives could have gone very badly, in a very bad direction anyway. And I think the rank we had at that time, like I don't want to whinge and complain about people, but the rank we had at that time were either not from our deployment or just had other sort of agendas. Not everyone, but I think like they just didn't really get what was going on. They sort of took it as more of a defiance thing rather than dudes actually struggling.
Yeah. Not understanding the mental health stuff.
Yeah, yep.
What do you think the difference was between MTF 2 and 3? You said those dudes came back and they were doing RI and fucking like mentoring you guys. What do you think the difference was when you guys came back?
Yeah, well, we had some new guys come in, but that's true. The attitude was just completely different. Like, I felt like the guys from MRTF2, I think they'd been back a bit longer than we were when we sort of got our new guys, but they were, I don't know, they seemed to be like, they were a bit older, I think, than a lot of our guys.
Oh, yeah.
I think they were more towards like mid to late 20s sort of thing and had lives established, where a lot of our guys were like 20.
Yeah.
And they didn't really have that maturity.
Still kids.
Yeah, and it just kind of seemed like there was not much, like a lot of our guys kind of like, well, what are we doing here? Like, we're just going to keep going the same exercises, or what direction do I go in from here? I just don't want to stay in a combat engineer squadron and do that for the rest of my life. Like, and there was no like long-term thinking at all, and then none of the rank kind of like were like, all right guys, what do you want to do, or anything like that, and so no one knew where to turn or ask questions. Like, being a bit older now, I can be like, oh, well, I could have gone here, I could have gone there, obviously in hindsight. But yeah, there was like dudes were just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. Like, and then there was some rank that were making some people's lives real difficult, just like full bastardization. Yeah, it was just like, fuck, all right, well, let's get out because I don't know what else to do. And then that obviously, like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes you go off the rails, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember the day when I was like, yeah, I'm discharging. This is it. I went into work and it was PT. I had PT gear on, like what we were going to wear for the day. And I had these runners that didn't require socks. They got like socks built into them. And so I just put them on. I was like we're going to go for a run. And I remember this sergeant, and he's a fat sack. Fucking hated that guy. He just starts reaming me for not wearing socks with my runners, and I was just like, and this guy had a bit of a history of being a sack like overseas and stuff. And I was like, all right, fuck this, I'm done. Like, I am fucking done. Like, this is bullshit. Like, they're more concerned about like whether I'm wearing socks and the length of my hair than whether I'm good at my job and stuff like that. Like, I understand like ASODs and being like well dressed and well groomed is all part of the job, but like just fucking like singling me out in front of everyone and reaming me for that. I was just like, yeah, this is fucked. I'm done. Like, so
dumb shit.
Yeah, dumb shit. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, so I did that. Got out. So I took leave October 2013, and then I was officially discharged in January 2014. Over to reserves. Did reserves for a little bit, like on and off. It just wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm. Just rocked up on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, and I was just like, this is not for me. Like, it's like you got to be in or you got to be out, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the good thing about that was I did teach some of the reservists some search stuff, which was cool, and that was why I transferred over, because I was like, these guys seem cool. But once I was in reserves, I was like, this is not for me. Yeah, so I got out.
Do you ever see any reservists fucking on deployment? They don't really deploy, do they?
No, they used to deploy to Timor and stuff like that, like pretty regularly. Oh, not regularly, but
the small
that
ones.
was
TS and yeah.
Well, I guess one commando deployed to Afghan, but they're a bit different. No, I haven't. No, I don't know any reservists that deployed anywhere else other than Timor.
So most reservists aren't doing much unless they transfer to full time, eh?
Yeah, well, I know, like, I don't know. It's. I mean, if you want to earn some tax-free money, I think it's a good deal. Or you want to keep your foot,
for sure.
You want to keep your foot in the door to get back in, or like do something else.
Just keep those options open.
Yeah, like if you're not sure if you want to get out, I guess you could transfer there, and then you could always transfer back. Or if you want a core transfer and not sit around in your squadron for like 2 years to wait for a core transfer, like, it's probably a good option.
Yeah. You can core transfer real quick in reserve.
Yeah. So I got out, and I probably struggled a bit with the transition, really. Like, I didn't really sort of realize that, civvy work sucks. And I don't know. And I was living in Townsville too, so getting a job up there was quite difficult.
What were you looking for?
I didn't know. I was like, my plan was like, I was go cops or something like that, but yeah, couldn't pass the medical for that. So I was like, all right, I'll go do a bit of time at uni and get my year 12 equivalent there, because I don't have that. And I was working at a gym and working at a bottle shop and stuff at the time. I just did that, finished that, got a diploma or whatever in that. And that was about the time when I was like, all right, well, I should get involved in something outside of just working and stuff.
Yeah.
And anyway, I got involved in a local powerlifting club.
Hey.
Ran by some dudes up there. Like, it was a cool small powerlifting club. It was fun. We get together on a Friday or on a Saturday, like, Townsville summer, like, in a shed, and just like smashing coffees and stuff, and lifting weights and blasting music. It was good. Like, it was good fun.
Nice.
I did a couple of comps, and then long after that, I was like, man, I should get back into jiu-jitsu. Like, I really loved that. Like, maybe that's the avenue I should go down. So, and then I knew a guy up there who was running a club sort of part-time. And I was like, I know him. I'll just go to his club. And I went, did the first session. And I was like, yep, this is it. This is for me. Like, I was set then. And then just started doing that. And that really helped. Like, that was really a big turning point for me. It was kind of like, all right, I'm out. This is it. Like, I'm a civvy now. Like, I had something to hold me sort of, outside. Like, I had something to belong to, something to work towards, something to give me that, like, scratch that itch of being uncomfortable and pushing myself. Like, that was a big deal. Like, so yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's a pretty big one, eh? The old jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think more veterans should do it. I think if a lot of veterans got involved in jiu-jitsu and lifting weights and doing physical training and stuff, I think it could make a real big difference to the mental health of a lot of veterans.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. You look at the guys that do jiu-jitsu and stuff and sort of where they are compared to the ones that sit on the couch and play PlayStation.
Yep.
That's fucking starkly different.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I can't train as hard as I want to because I'm, physically broken. But when I'm good, I train hard, and when I can't, I go and teach, drill, do what I can, just be in the club, like, help other guys and stuff. Like, I've been doing it long enough that, now I can sort of do that. But even if you're brand new and
what do you do with stuff like fucking bow and arrow chokes and that, where you're sort of getting twisted and fucking contorted? You
competition,
just tap out early, or
competition is basically off the table for me for that, because I want to hold out. I did competed up until about purple belt, and then I haven't competed since because neck just got way too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the gym, I just have a rule where if I get in a shit spot and I can't escape and I know it's going to crank my neck, I just tap early. And you got to swallow your ego for that sometimes, especially if you're having a hard roll and against someone that your gym nemesis, like
I'll never tap.
Yeah. There's a couple of boys where like we roll, it's like a fucking to the death. Like, So, saying that, I just like and. If you find the right gym with a good culture and a good leadership, then, dudes will roll you and be like, all right, man, you got any injuries? What do I need to avoid here? It's like, all right, sick. Like, my knee's fucked. Please don't, knee bar me on that one. Like, that sort of thing. Like, obviously in competition, that doesn't apply. But like in a training scenario, you want to be a good training partner. If you find a decent gym, then people will do that. It's like, you still get heaps out of it. It's just like, all right, well, I just need to, like, I've got some friends and they've got fucked necks as well. So it's like, all right, I'm not going to can open to this guy and fuck his neck because he's going to go to work tomorrow. He's got a family and stuff. Like, but, if I just, like, I can't do that one thing. It's like, like, this girl I'm rolling has got a bung wrist. I know that. Like, it's strapped up. So I'm not going to wrist lock her. I'm not going to be, if I land on her, I'm going to make sure that's out of the way sort of thing. Like, you make, small, things for people.
It's kind of easy to say when you're a brown belt or even purple, brown, black. It's kind of easy because you can manage white belts when they're getting spazzy, and you can have those conversations because you're sort of a mature jiu-jitsu dude. Yep. But guys sort of through that white and blue, it's fucking hard.
It's to the death. That is a thing. I think the important part of that is finding a gym that has good leadership and good culture and good higher belts that can come in and be like, stop being a retard, like, and I think also that's probably where like lifting weights and having some physical presence comes in as well. Like having something that, strong. Like even if my knees, bung, like I've got enough muscle mass that if it gets like pushed on a bit, like, or whatever, like it's not going to just blow up completely.
Just
like
bench press them off you.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and also not having an ego as well and just being like, yeah, man, you put me in a really bad position there. I'm just going to stop. Can we reset? Yeah. But, and when you are having a bad day, if your body's just, hammered bag of dicks, like just, just go in and drill or go in and just be part of the class and learn. Like, I think that's the important part of finding a gym with a good culture. Like you find some gyms that have shit culture and shit leadership, and dudes are just out for death. Like doesn't matter how many injuries you cause, they're just rolling hard. But and don't, like, it's a combat sport. It's hard, and I get headbutts and stuff like that all the time. But like you should be able to train with your partners, not compete.
100%.
So
Yeah, so I think as it's becoming more of a well sort of integrated into society, like it's becoming so popular and there's so many gyms, I think it's definitely toned in that way. Like back in the days when I did Muay Thai fucking 16 years ago, it was to the fucking death every sparring session.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I'd do 10 rounds of sparring and fucking walk away with black eyes and fucking bruised up. And
some CTE,
fucking oath. And but now when I spar, like, I fucking can't even remember the last time I caught a clean headshot. Like,
fair enough.
It's just playful,
Yep. I think hard sparring is definitely important if you're getting ready for a fight. I think it's a bit different. But if you're like, it's like lifting weights. Like if you're maxing out in the gym every session, you're not going to actually progress and you end up getting broken. Like there's a fine line there. It's the same with jiu-jitsu. Like you go in and you roll really, really hard. Like every session, your body quickly tells you that's not going to happen for a long time. So you roll hard when you can and with certain people, and then other people, especially once you get some skills under your belt. I've been doing this for solidly 10 years now. I got my black belt earlier this year.
Oh, did you? Congratulations.
In March. Earlier this
Big
year.
dog.
Which was pretty cool. That was a cool moment.
Yeah. Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. I thought I might, but but I tell you actually when I did tear up, because I said to a couple of people, I was like, oh man, I got more excited about purple and brown, to be honest, because it was kind of like,
now what?
Yeah, well, it's just kind of like,
Anticlimax?
this is just part of my life. Like, I'm just like, yeah, if I, you kind of get to that point, you're like, yeah, this is cool, but yeah, I was just going to keep doing this anyway. But they'd organised my wife to be at the club, and one of my good mates who trains at here, Dom, and I trained with him since he was like a kid, and he moved down here. He's coached down here, competes pretty much professionally now. He's wicked, one of the best dudes at jiu-jitsu. I know. But they organised for them to be there that night, and my wife was like hiding in the storeroom out the back. And it was pretty cool. But the next morning, and my oldest son had just started jiu-jitsu like a few months beforehand, and we were just at home, and obviously he wasn't at the class because it was the night class. But the next morning, I was like putting my stuff in the wash, and I was like, oh, I should show him. And I was like, oh, g'day, mate. Hey, mate, look at this. Like, look what I got last night. And he was like, oh, I'm so proud of you, Dad. And I was like, oh, don't cry. Like, so, yeah. But honestly, those two moments were way better than actually getting a black belt. Like,
yeah,
sure.
beautiful.
So, yeah, it was pretty cool. But, yeah, I think, I honestly, jiu-jitsu has done a lot for me, more than any therapy or medication could have done. It's given me, like, a purpose, and it's, like in teaching and helping other people as well. And it's given me a place to belong to. Like, you're with like-minded people, you're training hard, like, and it gives you that feeling of, it's uncomfortable. Like, there are some times in jiu-jitsu where you really got to like talk to yourself and be like, all right, just hold out for another 10 seconds. Just keep going for another 10 seconds, another 10 seconds, and then at the end of it, like, you might not win, you might get your ass kicked, but you're absolutely like breathing through your anus. You're going so hard. and then afterwards you're like, fuck yeah, like I survived just being so uncomfortable, and I'm a little bit stronger for that.
Yeah.
And I've always found like I get the most satisfaction and the most like self-worth out of doing things that are hard.
Yeah.
Just a subtle brag. I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in 2020.
Yeah.
And like I got to the last night. It's like 5 nights up, and then I got to the last night. I got altitude sickness.
Yeah.
And I was just cruising before that. Like I was way more fit than I needed to be. And I got altitude sickness last night, and I was like spewing everywhere. I had like the worst migraine. Like, it was horrible. Anyway, I summited and I got there, and then I started coming back down, and I was like, man, I was kind of glad I got that, because that made it so much harder. It made it made the finish line so much sweeter. Like,
oh yeah, it's so much more fucking appreciation when you work for something.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what I think is good about jiu-jitsu, is like and like when you get a stripe, it's like a fucking piece of tape on a belt. Like, who gives a fuck? It has no actual worth, but to you, it's like everything, because you've worked so hard for it. Like, and I don't give a fuck what people say about like, oh, it's easy to get a black belt. You just got to show up and do this. And, like, it's hard, man. Like,
no way.
You got to show up. You got to show up when you feel like shit. You got to show up when you've had a bad day, when your shoulder's a bit bung. Like, when you rock up to the club and you're a lower belt, and there's just like brown and blacks, and they're all fucking massive, and you're like, oh fuck.
They're all watching their fucking dinner walk in.
Yeah, pretty much. I had a couple of rolls last week, and there's a big boy at my club, big purple belt, named James, and he's pretty spicy. He's a lot heavier than I am, and we had a really rough roll, but fun, like good, but like hard, but a really good roll. And then we were like talking about something that happened in the roll, and I look up, and everyone else is already rolling, and I was like, oh, I guess we're going again. I was like, fuck. And I ended up on the bottom at one stage, and I was like, holy shit, like this, I feel like I'm going to die. Like, but then you persist, and, and sometimes you just get absolutely fucked, and that's it. That's how it is. But you keep pushing, you keep going. And even if you get your ass kicked, I walk away every night, and I'm like, man, that was awesome. Like, I feel so much better for that. Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's like you say, do hard things. About that summiting thing, I've climbed fucking heaps of the local mountains. I do a lot of like summit hikes, and then sleep on the top and watch the sunset.
Awesome. Yeah.
Wake up, watch the sunrise, have a brew, climb back down. But I went to one, I can't remember where it was now. I thought it was a hike, but it was actually like you drive through like a 4-wheel drive track.
Yeah, right.
And fucking you can park at the top. And got up there, same sort of views, but it was like, like no satisfaction.
Oh, really?
In looking out of the view at all. Yeah, I was like, yeah, cool, it's a view. But like, you get to the top of the other ones where you just slogged it for fucking 4 or 5 hours, and you're like, 100%. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, we did. What's the one in Tully? I can't remember what the mountain up there is. It's the highest mountain in Queensland. Bartle Frere. We did Bartle Frere with the army, and it was like pissing down rain. That's real steep as well. And there was like fucking leeches everywhere. Like it was fucked. And everyone's knees and hips were just fucked by the time we got down. And I remember like 100 meters after we started, I slipped and like ate shit on this rock in a river. Like literally the first thing to hit the ground, hit this rock was my face. And I was like, I just fractured my cheekbone or something. And I was like, it was fine. But I was like, holy fuck. But I remember getting on the top there and being like, oh, that was fucking like, that was awesome. And then I realized how like we had to come back down. And I was like, fuck, it's going to be way worse. It was so much worse coming down.
Yeah.
But the showers that night, we were like staying at the Tully Showgrounds, like the whole squadron. And it was like a murder scene because everyone was covered in leeches and was ripping them off in the shower.
Blood everywhere.
Blood everywhere. Like, yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah. You always fucking ate shit on the way down. Your legs just start buckling.
Yeah, and it was like there was like a bit where you like stepped down, like had really steep steps, like just cut, like not actual man-made steps, but like just how the ground had formed. But yeah, I remember like watching the dude in front of me walk down and him like wincing every time he stepped down because his knees were like blown. I was like,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Did you get your kids doing tough shit? Hiking and...
Oh, no, they've just started working out in the garage with me.
Nice.
And it's just real like, you know, the big one does some push-ups and like on a bench and then he does like as a band around a pull-up bar and pulls it down.
Nice.
Stuff like that. He does like aerial gymnastics as well, so I'm trying to get him stronger with like pulling because he has a bit of trouble with that. And we just weighted carries where he just has like a kettlebell that's made out of neoprene of sand and then like hold it in a front rack position and walk up and down beside the house and stuff. And the little fella does that. He's actually a really strong little fella. And I was like, all right, we're doing pull downs. And he starts like grabbing the band, like using it to like launch himself like, as he jumps. Like, it's pretty good. But they just like being out in the gym and stuff like that. And it's hard, but I try and get them out there when I'm working out because like I want them to see that as like a normal thing and them to grow up into that, like, you know, have that as part of their life as a normal thing. But it's also like your time away from the kids to work out. So it's a fine line between like, all right, mate, yeah,
not
come
every
to the
time.
gym. Like, yeah. So it just like I had him out in the gym yesterday and I was doing like deadlifts and stuff and the little fella's pretty good with that. Like we know we have like some established rules in the gym about like, you know, all right, as soon as the weights come off the ground, everyone takes a step back away, you know, like we wear shoes in the gym, like that sort of stuff. Like,
like you said, it's just good for them to make it a norm where it's just part of life, you know. It's fun for them now. They can play around and then sort of they'll get more and more serious as they get older. Yeah.
The older one, he like with his jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, it's been good. Sometimes I have to like force him to go, but once he gets there, he's good to go. And I think he's going to benefit from that. It's been interesting watching him do that too, because like we were at one club and I was on the mats with him the whole time and I'd be coaching the kids' classes and just on the mats while he was doing the class. And I wasn't coaching him. One of the other coaches would coach him, but I would coach the other kids just so I'm on the mat with him. And he would be quite timid with his wrestling and stuff like that and wasn't really getting into it. And like he's a long, lanky kid, so he's going to be real good with like guards and stuff like that. But at the moment with the kids, you focus a lot on more like wrestling stuff. And then we went to another club and I'm not teaching, I'm not on the mat, so I'm out in the foyer watching it on a screen. And all of a sudden he's doing single leg takedowns, just bombing people on the mat, like pushing, shoving and stuff like that. And we went through like this super simple, like you shove them and then grab a single leg and put them down. And like, man, watching him do that like over and over and over again. I'm like, whoa, like where'd this come from? Like, so it was interesting.
Shy with you there.
Yeah. I don't know if it was more like he was scared that he was going to go too aggressive and I was going to say something or what it was there. But yeah, he's much better when I'm not there. That's for sure.
Interesting. I had Lily doing jiu-jitsu when I did it fucking years ago, like 5 years ago. And she hated it. Like, just it was a grind, but I just made her go. Just keep going, and you know, give it 12 months at least. If you still don't like it, I'll pull you out.
Yeah, yep.
And it was getting close to the 12 months, and she's like, "Is it 12 months yet? Can I stop now?"
Yeah, fair enough. Then
like, all right, you fucking hate it. Fair enough. But accidentally, I never pushed her into Muay Thai because I was like, I don't want to make her do the things that I do. Yeah, I'll just let her find her own thing. And I had her doing Japanese jiu-jitsu at Toowong, where they do like fucking 5 different martial arts.
Yeah.
Muay Thai, jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Japanese jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, wrestling or something. Anyway, she was doing Japanese jiu-jitsu and then afterwards they started the Muay Thai class. But So it was kids Japanese Jiu Jitsu and then adults Muay Thai.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But nobody turned up for the adults Muay Thai. So the coach was standing there with his pads and Lilu was just like fucking messing around on the gym floor after her class while she was waiting for this other class to start. And the coach was like, oh, come over here and hit some pads.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And first time, I wasn't even there. My ex-wife was taking a video for me. And first time kicking the pads, like she looked good. And I'm like,
yeah, right.
God damn. And then I talked to her afterwards. I was like, how'd you go? Did you enjoy that? She was like, yeah, I loved it. I'm like,
oh, good. There you
fucking ka-ching,
yeah,
let's go.
Just got to find the right thing. Like,
So signed her up in my gym. We've been there for nearly 3 years, fucking awesome. Training a few times a week.
Yeah, wicked. Yeah. I think my eldest, once he starts learning guard stuff, because he's so long, I think he'll really get into jiu-jitsu. Like he's going to be like a gi nerd. Like he's going to be all like spider guard and you're doing triangles and stuff. Whereas my younger son's just a bag of rocks. So he's gonna be a wrestler for sure. Like he's gonna have more of a style like me, where it's just like very smothery, very attached, like driving your head in, that sort of stuff. Like he's gonna be like that. So
yeah, those long dudes with the fucking sharp shins and fucking just long levers, fuck you up.
Yeah, I've got there's a guy at my gym, a black belt, and he's just got an awesome guard, like wicked guard, and kind of like one of my strengths in jiu-jitsu is guard passing, like a low passing, like lots of body lock style stuff. And basically, if I've got something new, like a new something like to pass, like a new skill or a new way to pass, and I can get it on him, I know I can get it on anyone because his guard is just immense. So.
What club do you train at?
So I train between two clubs. So I've been training at Aries MMA in Hillcrest or Browns Plains, just near the Browns Plains Bunnings there.
Oh, yeah.
For 4 or 5 years now, and I teach there as well. Really great club. They just moved to a new space. It is massive. Such like huge mat space. It is insane. And they also run a police and correctional officers only class.
Oh, yeah.
On every second Friday. The guy who runs it has been to the States and done that course and all sorts of stuff. I was helping out with that for a fair while. Just the timetable sort of changed for me, so I couldn't. But that's really good too. That's awesome. We see like coppers come in, and we like go through just some really simple stuff with them, and they come back 2 weeks later and they're like, "Yeah, I use this. It cut my arrest time down so quickly."
Oh,
like,
nice.
and the thing they come in all the time with is, when we go to ground, people just put their hands underneath their body and like, so I can't get their hands behind their back to cuff them. It's like, yeah, sweet. All right, here you go. Hand, like grab the hand, like wrist, elbow to elbow, fold it out, pull it back behind their back like a chicken wing. And I do use that on like brown belts at my club, like, and all the time. Like, and it's like a joke now that I do it. Like, because I'll be like, you're under arrest. Stop resisting. So yeah, and we do a lot of wall, like the guy that runs Aries, Jamie, he's a phenomenal wall wrestler. So like pinning people on the wall and wrestling off that, like, because he's really good with like wrestling off cages and stuff like that for like MMA. Yeah, he's immense with that. It's also there's so much room for that sort of stuff. So when he goes through that with like correctional officers, like wrestling in cells and stuff like that, it's awesome. Some of it's rough as shit though.
They should be fucking integrating that into the entire force. Eh?
We did try that. I know Jamie applied for funding and stuff like that to see even if we could just get some people out to go through it with them and they could take it back, but it just didn't end up happening. So he runs that now there. I don't know if he's going to try again or not, but so Aries MMA in Browns Plains there, and then I also have just started training at Harlequins in Forest Lake, and they're a bit like a much smaller club, but awesome, really good club. They have
just close at home.
Well, that one, the Aries MMA is like really close to my house, but the Harlequins is like just around the sort of near my son's school and stuff. So I just go there like after drop off and things like that. So, but I've always wanted to train a couple of different clubs just to get different insights on training. Like, I've always been about like grappling for fighting. And so my style is very developed around like being on top and that sort of stuff. Or if you're on the bottom, like getting back to being on top, or like, stopping from being punched.
Being at the bottom.
Yeah, being, defending from being punched and things like that. And it's only since I got my black belt that I've been like, I really like to just do some fun sporty stuff. And like, so I've been doing, I've been like electric chairing people and rolling into trucks and doing like crotch rippers and stuff like that. And like, it's just stuff that annoys people. Like, there's nothing more humiliating than getting done with a crotch ripper. Like
crotch ripper or something.
Yeah. So I'm laying underneath them, and I've got one hook from the back, but they're completely like 90 degrees to me. So their hips are on my stomach and they're like laying out to the side and their like groin is facing the roof. And I've got one hook on their leg and like holding the other leg and like spreading their legs as far as I can. Like, yeah. And I get a lot of people with it. It's ridiculous. I actually just had one of the purple belts that does my morning class. So the electric chair is like basically similar sub, but you're on top and you're like forcing their legs apart.
Oh, okay.
And he went over to Europe and he's like, yeah, I rolled at this club in like Italy and I got everyone with an electric chair.
No one's expecting it.
No, so I've just and this other club that this Harlequins that I train at there, they do a bit more sporty style stuff and stuff that I haven't done before. So I'm and they have a totally different style of teaching as well. They do the I can't remember what it's called. It's like they don't drill; they just do like live games. So it'll be like, all right, we're gonna like this is a dorsal Kimura. So you're going to start in side control and go and try and get the Kimura. So you're always like sort of drilling with the resistance.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. I get a lot out of it because like I've sort of got that skill base. I think someone brand new would probably struggle with that style of teaching, like especially with a technical sort of position. Like if you're doing like De La Riva stuff or anything like that, I think it would be difficult or more like pretty intimidating as well. But for someone that's got a good skill set, like it's awesome. I really get a lot out of it. So it's like proper like 90 minutes of full training.
As a veteran grappler, do you get into the American dudes like Jocko Willink and that?
Yeah, like Jocko's pretty cool. Like I think so. And I'm a big fan of his coach Dean Lister. I've been watching Dean Lister stuff for years.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so he's the guy that introduced like foot locking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to do actually. It was cool because Dean Lister, the first time Dean Lister got subbed in like years in a competition was by a guy named Josh Barnett, and he was an old
Josh Barnett, the big fucking heavyweight.
Yeah, he was, and he was like one of the first UFC champions, heavyweight champions, fought in Pride. Like, and I got to do a seminar under him last year.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a 2-hour seminar. Ended up being a 4.5 hour seminar, and he went through like it was cool too because he went through like catch wrestling side of things and then the jiu-jitsu side of things. He's like, all right, this is the takedown we're going to drill. This is how a jiu-jitsu guy is going to react. This is how a catch wrestling guy is going to react, and then we'll go down those two paths. So
this is Josh Barnett.
Yep. So I got heaps out of it. So I was like, and I started going down the rabbit hole of like catch wrestling stuff and using that in jiu-jitsu, which a lot of people don't expect. And
yeah, cool.
It was fun. And my knees were so sore the next day from doing all the foot locks though. Oh man. He showed me this, he demonstrated one on me where I was in turtle position, so I'm on my hands and knees, and he like drives his knee on the back of my calf and then twists my foot out. So it like breaks, it's supposed to break, it breaks your knee. And oh man, I like shot forward. He's like, that's the exact reaction I want. Like, he's still a unit though. He's still like pretty fit, and he's started
a big fucking boy. Yeah.
He started shadow boxing at one time, and I was like, well, we still got it.
Where was this at?
Dragon something.
In Brisbane.
Yeah, out at Jim Boomba.
Oh, yeah, Dragon Kai.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was out at
yeah, that's the dude that runs the fucking ATP, not ACP, but the judo. I think he does some classes in fucking at Adenoga anyway.
Oh, really? Okay.
At the combative centre.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, I should have spoke to him.
Black Dragon Kai.
That's it. Yeah. So it was there. They were really good setup there. It was interesting too because the people that went to it were like, you had a big group of like Greco wrestlers, catch wrestlers, jiu-jitsu guys, and like we were doing takedowns, and obviously jiu-jitsu guys didn't look too flash. And then we went to the ground, and like I could hear all the jiu-jitsu guys being like, "How the fuck do these guys not know what this is?" And I'm like, well, I saw you do a takedown before. Like, you should shut your mouth.
Fucking, I just watched Josh Barnett on a comedy show. What's it called? Story Wars.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's Louis J. Gomez and Big J. Okerson have got a new fucking like game show thing called Story Wars, where they bring in a panel of 3 other people, and then they each tell like 5 stories, but they put them in a random thing, and then the story gets read out, and all 5 of them have to guess whose story it is.
Yeah, right. It's like, then I got punched in the face. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Josh.
It's actually a fucking hilarious show. I love it. But awesome. Yeah, they just had Josh on the panel.
Oh, that's wicked. It was cool meeting him. He's a massive dude, but really like. You could tell he was a really good coach because like he'd come up to people and you hear the way he speak and way he talk about stuff and you know, if you didn't understand something, he'd like rephrase it in a way that you would understand. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like you can tell he's an awesome coach. Like,
yeah, nice.
That was pretty cool.
Jiu-jitsu as a whole, dude, like you've said it, one of my good mates, Joji Flano, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's a purple belt. He's like jiu-jitsu is my therapy. Like without jiu-jitsu, I probably wouldn't even be alive. Like it's cured my it helps me live with my PTSD and my struggles. And you hear it all the time. And there's the Veteran Grappling Association down in Gold Coast.
Yep.
I think there's one on the Sunshine Coast as well, Veteran MMA.
There used to be one at Lang Park.
That was the guys from the Gold Coast would come up once a week and just run it out of there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did go and roll there twice, I think. So,
I think I went a couple of times as well.
Yeah. I got some good judo stuff out of that.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's good for veterans.
Yeah, I swear by it.
More people should fucking get involved. If you're looking for something, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, 100%. And find a club that has a good culture. There's heaps of clubs around. You can shop around.
Yeah, go do a free trial at a few different places.
Yeah. If you're in the south sort of Brisbane area, Logan area, come down to Aries MMA. Have a chat with me. I'm always happy to.
If you live in Logan, you probably should be learning self-defense.
Yeah. yeah, 100%. Oh, man.
Nice. So you're fucking doing the single dad life now and not single dad, the stay-at-home dad.
Yeah. So so I ended up actually getting a retrospective medical discharge. Like in 2018 or something like that. Because
good.
I just couldn't get the jobs I wanted because I couldn't pass the medical, and I kind of got the shits with that. And because in Townsville, like obviously employment opportunities are pretty slim. And I was just like, fuck, man, I don't want to do the rest of my life like just fucking working shit jobs or anything. I will say I am very appreciative to like the people that gave me work up there. Like I worked as debt collector for a while, and and then I moved into their compliance sort of department there, and like I worked an office job, which was not for me. but I am very appreciative of the people that gave me a job there, and they're all pretty awesome. And then I was working as a plastic welder for a while, which was actually a really cool job. I really liked it. It was an awesome job. But the guy that was teaching me, unfortunately, he took his own life.
Oh, wow.
And then the workshop there kind of just went downhill. The culture of that workshop died, and the job kind of came shit.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to just do these sort of jobs the rest of my life? Or, I can't get a trade up here. I can't be a copper. I can't do fireys. Can't pass the medical for that. I couldn't go to the mines because I can't pass the medical for that. As soon as they see like arthritis in the spine, they're like, oh, nope. So I was just like, all right. And then one of my friends at Jiu-Jitsu was kind of like, was talking to him about one night, and he was like, oh, so they were trying to medically discharge you back in the army. I was like, yeah. He's like, why don't you retro it? And I was like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Contacted an advocate, and he took me through that process. And it was super simple as well. As soon as they sort of looked at what happened before I got out and my medical records, and I have this piece of paper at home, and it's a incident report from the IED strike, and it says, where on the human body could a potential injury have occurred during this incident? And it has a picture of a human. And whoever filled it out just circled the entire body. And so I just attached that to anything I send to like DVA or whatever. And that was a pretty easy process. It took a couple of months.
Yeah.
So that was it. And then I got approved for that, got my pension on that, and then and then my wife got pregnant with our first son, so I stopped work basically, and just decided I was going to be the stay-at-home dad after that.
Yeah, nice.
Then we moved to and then we went through during that process, or just before that process, we went through the Townsville floods, and we lost our house in the Townsville floods up there.
No.
We had like a meter of water through, and that was a whole thing. Like we didn't think we were going to go under. We were like one of the last houses to go under until they opened up the dam on the Sunday night, like fully, because it was going to break.
When was this? 2011?
2019?
19,
yeah. I think something like that. I don't know. Like, so yeah, this was like, I just started this process and then this happened. Like, so it was just raining for like a month straight. And
did we flood down here at the same time?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a couple of years after that flood down here.
Okay.
I think 2011, there was a flood down here.
There was a big one in 2011 that the whole city flooded. Yep. And then we had another one in 2020.
Yeah, I was here. Yeah, I was here when that one happened. Yeah. So it must have been, so I must have done the retro in 2019. And then the floods, so it was like Townsville was flooding basically, and they were, we were like, oh, I doubt will flood. We're like, like pretty good. And then, they were like, oh, we're going to have to open the dam gates fully. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, this might be bad. And then, yeah, we stayed until the last minute, basically. Like, it was just me and my wife and my 2 dogs. And we were like, oh, we'll stay and we'll sandbag it. We'll try to save it. And then the water started coming up through like the toilet and the bathtub and the drains in the bathroom stuff. I was like, all right, fuck, we're going. We're out. Like, and we're like trudging through like chest deep water.
Oh, shit.
And I had my 2 dogs, and like one of them was a Kelpie, and he was just like just powering through, like didn't give a shit. And then the other one's like a Kelpie cross mastiff thing, and he was like his bum's going under. I was like, oh fuck! He like went under at one stage. I'm like grabbed him by his saggy skin, I'm like lifting him out of the water and stuff. And we got up to this like apartment sort of like a bunch of apartments in like a gated sort of thing, and the army had taken over it. And we got in there. They just let us squat in some random dude's room that wasn't paying his rent and had bailed. And so we're just like sleeping on the floor in there and stuff for a few days, or a couple of days, 2 days, something like that. And my next door neighbor, she had bailed. She's a single mum, and she had to bail with her kids out in the middle of the night, and they'd left their dog there. And I was like, oh fuck, like, you know, I like that dog. So someone let me borrow their kayak, and I went back to get this dog. I'm like paddling through like this flood water with a kayak, and I went to our house and got like fucking gas bottles and food and stuff like that. And then I went to their house and I like opened the door. The dog's just sitting there like covered in mud. Put him on the front of the kayak, and I'm like, the kayak's just like covered in stuff. So I'm like walking it through this flood water with the dog on the front, and the people saw him, like the kids saw him, like, oh, Leo. And the dog fucking like jumps off the kayak into the water. I'm like, oh, fuck. Put him back up. So yeah, we did that. And then my mum down in New South Wales was talking to some people that lived outside of town that we were friends with. And we kind of like 3-way communicated, and they ended up coming out with a dinghy and picking us up.
Yeah, right.
And then we went.
Sounds pretty hairy.
Yeah, and then we were like couch surfing at pretty much people's couches for the next few months, next 6 months, I think. And then
was it a rental or you owned it?
No, we owned that one.
So what happened with that insurance?
So it took us a year to get a payout for that, and then another year to repair it. Like another 8 months to repair it, and like we sold as it was being repaired, and like so we were like finishing it off as the people sort of moving in and stuff, and yeah, that just kind of like broke us for Townsville. We're just like, oh, we don't want to raise kids up here, like with this sort of shit happening, and I just don't want to be here anymore, sort of thing. So we moved to Brizzy, but yeah, that was full on.
What's in Brizzy? Is your wife from here or something?
Yeah, my wife's from here. She grew up here. Her family's here, so we live like 10 minutes from them, which is good. And then my family down in New South Wales decided they didn't really have anything to stay down there for, so they moved up here. Oh, nice. So my brother lives with my parents out on their property out at Newbeath, big bit of land. So we take the boys out there and fly kites and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, they're all here now, so which is cool. So yeah.
Beautiful. That's good, man. I met you. What was it, 22 maybe? 21, 22, mates.
Yep. Yeah, that weekend.
Yeah. Like a 4-day thing. Was that the one at Spices?
It was the one at the Hinterland. Oh, Hinterland, is that it? I don't know.
Up the mountain?
Yeah.
Yep. So that's, yeah, it was too. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so we met there. That was my first thing with Mates and Mates.
Oh, was it?
Yep. My very first thing. My wife had been on me about doing stuff with them for fucking years. And I was just like, all right, I'll do it and see how it goes. So
you having some mental health struggles when you got back or when you got out? Down here?
Yeah. I've on and off. Like it was like, I think probably like any army guy, it just comes in waves. Like you kind of go through periods where life's like, dandy and good and you're all good. And then, there were other points where, you kind of feel like you don't have a purpose and, especially when I was kind of like bouncing from job to job, like I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was like, fuck, is there any way I could get back in? Probably not. I can't do this, can't do that. What am I going to do? Like, and then we moved down here and we had my first son and I was kind of like, all right, Beck's been on me about this. I need to get my head sorted out so I can be a better dad. I can be ready for that sort of thing, and like he was still real little. So I decided I was going to get involved with veteran troops, and Mates and Mates just sort of was the one that we decided I was going to go and try out. And it worked out pretty well. That weekend was pretty good. There were good and bad things about that weekend. Yeah. But it was a good sort of starting point for me because then I could be like, all right, well, I'm going to get involved with them, and it was really good for families as well, I think, because they had so much stuff to offer for like kids and stuff like that we could be like that we would never do normally. So yeah, it was good.
Lots of school holiday programs and that.
Yeah, yep.
So what do you think helped to get you through the dark times?
Probably a combination of things. I think jiu-jitsu for sure, and just like having a lifestyle that sort of keeps me busy, and I have a reason to get up and do things. And my wife put up with it a lot as well. I think if I didn't have a wife and kids and stuff, that would be in those hard times would have been a lot more difficult. Like, even now, if I spiral at all, it's kind of like, all right, well, I need to pull my shit together because I've got kids to look after and a wife to be good for and stuff. And I can't just go off the rails and start drinking and all that sort of stuff. Like I've got people that rely on me. And even just teaching jiu-jitsu now, like I was like, I know on a Sunday night I've got to get to bed early and I've got to be up early and I've got to be on my game to teach on a Monday morning at 6 a.m. sort of thing. So I think just creating that lifestyle
with purpose.
Yeah, with this purpose, and you enjoy what that purpose is. Like, and I know plenty of guys that are dads and are like, yeah, like, it's definitely a purpose, but it's also still a struggle there. Like I think you need stuff outside of your family as well, that gives you a bit of a reason to not just be alive, but actually live your life. Yeah. And I think I heard someone else say, I think it was Paul de Gelder actually, say, like during COVID, that was a big thing where like people lost their purpose, because they didn't have jobs to get up for or dogs to walk or, things.
Gym to go to.
Yeah, nothing to give them purpose or to, so they were just like, they were still living, but they were just like rotting basically. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing for veterans when they get out is finding a purpose. It doesn't matter what that purpose is, but finding something that's a purpose for you. And I think that's where veteran groups sometimes go a bit off, especially with younger veterans, is like, you can offer as many arts and craft classes as you want, but you're not going to get a 21-year-old dude that's been med discharged from infantry to come along to that. Like, if you run a jiu-jitsu class or have a powerlifting club where you're like blasting music and lifting weights and screaming at each other and you're around a group of like-minded people that are all sort of going in the one direction, and you can put a physical aspect on that and it's like exert yourself, like you're gonna do a lot for people. So
100%. That whole clinical fucking direction that all the veteran organizations goes does my head in. Like, fucking keep your voices down, don't swear, fucking
that's like the opposite of what you really need. Like
you're literally taking war fighters and putting them into a white coat atmosphere and telling them to fucking behave and be nice to each other and censor their speech and like, fuck off. Like, know your fucking audience.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think that's been a repetitive thing actually. I remember even coming back from Afghan and like the first introduction we had to a psychologist, she's like, so engineers, you guys just do construction, right? And I remember someone was just like, you just lost everyone in this room. But yeah, I think the army does that, or Defense Force does that really poorly as well, where like they've got these dudes and they're like, oh, we'll treat them the exact same way as we treat, like, I've got this 23-year-old dude that's in infantry that's just like a hard charging, like goes out in the piss on the weekend, like, all that, man's man. And I'm going to treat his mental health the exact same way as I'm going to treat a 16-year-old girl in high school. I'm going to be nice and calm and sweet and soft, I'm going to approach that way, like, and give them lots of space and lots of time to rest and things like that. But we're pretty much, you need to just like tell that guy, like, that he needs to find a purpose and get him in the gym and get him, like into something that's going to give him some purpose and some satisfaction and like, challenge him. And he's probably going to, do that with a smile on his face.
100%. Yeah. Having platforms like this where people can relate to somebody's story and go, yeah, fuck, I was in that position too, seeing, and then they did this, they did jiu-jitsu or they did fucking whatever else it is that they did. And then, they're fucking successful in whatever your definition of success is.
That's, exactly.
Helps them go, I'm not alone and I'm not doomed. There are ways to come out on the other side fucking with a, sun in the sky rather than just doom and gloom.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the reason why I said I would come on here was we spoke about it before the podcast, but when you first messaged me and I was kind of like, I'll think about it. I was like, oh, fuck that. But I was kind of like, all right, well, maybe I can, like I've been through, had some physical and mental struggles. You know, this is what I did, and maybe someone else out there could benefit from that. You know, and at worst, maybe someone will get a laugh out of my story, like, you know, after a shitty day. Like, but I've got like my 2SE from Afghan. He's a great bloke, and he was, you know, I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but he was going down a bit of a dark path. And one day I was like, man, why don't you come along to jiu-jitsu and give it a go? And now he's a purple belt.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And he's eventually medically discharged from the army, but you know, he's a great dude, and it's become a big part of his life. And I think it really really benefited him. That and normal physical training. Like I'm a big proponent of that.
What's your thoughts on like you said, you got some back injuries, and you're still fucking powerlifting and doing deadlifts and stuff. So how's all that stuff sort of go together?
Yeah, it's I've had to change that a lot, and trying to think about the ways that. Yeah, I'm also a lot more time poor than I was back then as well, like, you know, years ago with kids and stuff. But I try and think about it like what's the most bang for buck I can get out of a movement with the least like tax to my body. Like, you know, like I would love to just squat, bench, deadlift, like, you know, heavy, like every session. That'd be great. Like I'd love that, but I can't do it because it just fries me. Like it cooks my back. And then plus jiu-jitsu is, you know, taxing. So like, you know, I've had to change things and develop things and just research as well. It's like, all right, what can I do that's going to give me, you know, a similar type of stimulus to a deadlift or a squat, but it's not going to, you know, like tax my back or my neck or anything like that. So like, and there's so much information out there in regards to that. Like, you know, it's just all at your fingertips. So, and trial and error too. Like I've been like, oh, well, like I've heard this is really good. And like, you know, like squatting now with a barbell on my back is like I've tried to reintegrate that so many times. It just never works. Like
let it go,
yeah. Like as soon as I start getting anything above like 60%, like my mid back just starts cooking. So I bought a belt squat. It's like, yeah, basically like and it was like, and I bought a cheap one. It was just a lever. It cost me like $300 or something like that. Like it's rated at 300 kilos. Like, yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, just at home?
Yep. Yeah, my garage, I've got a bit of a setup at home just so I can train with kids and stuff like that. Yeah, and that was probably one of the best things I ever bought. I was like, all right, sweet. Now I can get the same type of stimulus I can, but I'm not getting taxed. And obviously I'm not telling everyone to go and buy like all this gym equipment, but if you go to a normal gym, a regular gym, you'll be able to find
a lot of places are getting stuff like that. I've seen some belt squats and hack squats and stuff around. But yeah, even fucking EP, use your card to get an EP referral. And
yeah. There was a gym. The first place I used a belt squat at was a powerlifting gym down here called Iron Underground. It's in Albion. It's a real little, like, everything's painted black and rusty, and there's no mirrors, and like they blast death metal all day. It's great little gym, really cool gym. And they have that type of atmosphere where like dudes, everyone lifts in a team, like they're screaming at each other, stuff like that. It's awesome. But yeah, they and just going there, and that was the first time I got to use, like, because I'd never trained in a commercial gym or anything like that ever before. And I'm like, oh, okay, so what can I use here? What can I use here? Oh, there's this machine here. Okay, like how can I replicate that? You know, it's like, oh, if I can do this on machine, how can I replicate that, you know, at home with dumbbells and a barbell and a bench sort of thing? Like, so yeah, and you got to pick your battles too, I think. You know, you can't, if you feel like absolute shit and your back's fried, I'm like, oh, well, the program says I have to do 90%, you know. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, you know, so you got to find programs as well that allow some like auto regulation there to change, like, you know, and either change the intensity or change the movement as well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, don't stick to a rigid program is probably a good fucking bit of advice.
Yeah, 100%, especially with like the injuries and stuff like that. Like, you know, the guys who are probably listening to this aren't probably not professional athletes. They're probably, you know, pretty broken vets and stuff like that, or in the military. And if you're in the military at the moment and you're doing physical training, like, you need to think about like, all right, so I'm doing PT in the morning, which is probably some, I don't know, back then it was probably just some nonsense, but, you know, and I'm pack marching, I'm doing this, you know, even every time we go outfield, we do infantry minor tactics, that's taxing my body. If I do obs course, that's taxing my body, swimming, you know, and then I want to lift weights in the gym on top of that and do my own conditioning. You know, you need to think about like what movements are going to give me my most bang for my buck and not tax my body. Like if I'm running a lot, maybe I should box squat instead of free squat because my knees are probably getting pretty chalky. You know, if I've got some pack marches coming up or I'm doing a lot of pack marches because I'm getting ready for X, Y, Z, all right, my back's probably pretty taxed already. Like how about we skip deadlifts and we just do some back raises on the machine?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, stuff like that. Like there's no, and I was, don't get me wrong, I was a really a big barbell zealot for years where it's like, no, it's squat, bench, dead, and that's it, you know, like you don't need anything else. Like, you know, but especially if you've got gyms on base, like, you know, available to you, like use the machines and stuff like that. Like build yourself up because that's only going to protect you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a common thing is the boys going to the gym after work, after they've done PT during the day, and then
you're on your third or fourth session for the day, like like, and then
they're not looking at oh fuck, I've got a pack march tomorrow morning. They're just like, fucking how heavy can we dead today, boys?
That's exactly right. Yeah, and dudes, and you're just running so much, like on concrete too most of the time, like so your knees are, you know, copping a hiding. So like, you know, the last thing you want to do is like be like, oh, I'm going to go like, you know, do 10 sets of squats and be sweet. And I wonder why my knees are just like, you know, hurting so much the next day. Like, you know, so you got to think about like what's going to give you the most bang for your buck and not tax your body.
Yeah. It's hard to get out of that ego lifting culture though, right?
100%. Yeah. And I think, if you train at an army gym, it's even worse. Like I remember as soon as you put anything over 100 kilos on a squat, people are like, oh, what's he doing? Like, you know, looking at you and stuff. But, you just got to get away from that. Like if you can, like try and link in with a gym or a trainer or something like that. Like
I think that's the fear of paying for it. Fucking, you know, not a civilian in the world gets a fucking free gym membership, cunts. Like, be fucking willing to pay $20-$50, whatever it is, and actually train outside of the army.
Yeah, and get online and actually like learn. There's like plenty of, you know, resources online that you can look at that have heaps of strength trainers that have, you know, decades of experience and knowledge, you know, and you can teach yourself all this sort of stuff. Like, you know, jump on Elite FTS or look at Chad Wesley Smith stuff, Jim Wendler's stuff, like anything like that. There's massive resources of stuff. Like, you know, you can look at and be like, oh, well, my knees are sore, like on my back sore, I can do X, Y, Z still and get heaps out of it. It's like, well, I'm not competing in powerlifting or whatever. Like I don't need to just do this one rigid thing. I can do whatever I want as long as I'm getting stronger and it's providing stimulus.
Yeah, for sure. Working in the army rehab space for the last 5-6 years.
See some wonders.
Yeah, dude. But there's just a stark difference between the people like yourself that are talking about, you know, doing research, doing the right things, looking after their bodies, doing fucking recovery, you know, even booking in with the SRC and doing ice baths and saunas and stuff. And then the dudes that just do army PT and fat truck or like
fat truck.
The difference in soldiers is so obvious. And then the ones that are just doing what the army tells them and like, I do what I'm told to do. Why am I not getting better, or why am I always sore?
Because the guys that are telling you what to do don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You got some fat sergeant that can't even do 10 push-ups, and he's like, "Yeah, we're going to do this today for training." It's like, it's not training. We're just getting sweaty and not getting better, burning some calories, not getting better or anything.
Yeah. I want to go to sniper selection. What are you doing? You know, PT. Oh.
Yeah, 100%. You're
not going to make it.
Well, and there's a real culture in the army as well with and your defense force with like more is better. Like, you know, it's like, oh, if I do 100 push-ups, 300 are better, like, you know, sort of thing. So, which is like, you've got to build up to that sort of volume and also again, just flog a dead horse. It's like you got to think about the tax as well on your body, like especially
there is such a thing as overuse.
100%. And what do you see? Like, you know, in the army, you see like shin splints, you see like knee injuries, shoulder injuries, like. Because there's just repetition on repetition on repetition where you could do something at a better quality and get less and do way less volume, safer and get way more out of it. So
yeah. There's a reason that soldiers get fucking arthritis in their fucking 20s and 30s and that it's an approved DVA condition.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because of fucking overuse.
Yep, that's exactly right. It's and even running, like it's just like, well, how about you just stop running on concrete so much? Or it's like, oh, instead of just going for 10K runs, if you want to actually get a faster 2.4 time, just start doing some intervals, like, and you'll cut your running volume down by a third, and you'll get faster.
100%. Yeah, fucking. There's not a running coach in the world that's going to tell you to go for multiple long runs in a week. It's
100%.
Today you do fucking some hill sprints. Tomorrow you do some fucking interval stuff. And then fucking you do one long run on the weekend.
Yeah, 100%. Or even learning to run. Like I didn't know that was a thing until like I was at 3CR and one of the guys was like, yeah, you're way fitter than me, but you just don't know how to run properly, so I beat you. And I was like, oh, that's bullshit.
What do you mean?
Yeah. I was like, that doesn't make sense. And he's like, yeah. So I started researching like how to run properly, and I was like, oh, okay. So I'm like really flat-footed, and I'm actually like stopping myself from getting momentum forward and stuff. Yeah, stuff like that. So I was like, oh, okay. There's actually a science to this. Like,
Yeah. I used to teach running someone else at SRC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And fucking, I did it for three and a half years, and fucking soldiers come up to me all the time like, I didn't know like there was a thing to running. I thought you just ran.
Yeah.
And no
exactly.
wonder I've been getting fucking injured all the time. Like,
it's like you see dudes doing push-ups and they're internally rotating their shoulders and they're doing these ones like, it looks fucking awful, and you're like, yeah, no wonder you're up for a fucking shoulder surgery.
Yeah. How many times have you felt your chest when you're doing push-ups? Which is a chest exercise.
No, I'm doing the shoulder joint exercise. It's just. Yeah. So, and then when you get out, like, you're obviously dealing with a bunch of injuries and stuff as well. So, and I think it's probably even more important then, to be strong and to build yourself back up, because, what I found was like I took a year off of jiu-jitsu basically just to get stronger. And that's when I went to that powerlifting club at Albion, and Paul there helped me like sort of get a lot stronger. And I probably wouldn't be on the mats anymore if I didn't lift weights. I don't think my body could handle it. And I've had but like a couple of physios and things like that, and doctors and neurosurgeons sort of be like, yeah, when you stop lifting weights, you're going to notice that you're going to be in a lot more pain than you are now. So I think it's really important.
Yeah, fucking oath. If I take a couple of weeks off, I went to Thailand in February for 3 weeks. So I stopped doing strength training and just did Muay Thai. And I felt my fucking, as I sort of got towards the end of the 3 weeks, my back, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, 100%. It's a fine line too. It's like you don't want to overdo it, but when you don't do it enough, definitely.
Yeah, definitely need a couple of strength sessions every week.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be much. Like, like they don't have to be hour and 15-minute long, sessions. You can really get a wicked strength session in under 30 minutes. Like, as long as you pick the right movements. There was a period of time there where I really wasn't getting much time because of the kids. So, well, not of course the kids, but that was just, part of it, and then other appointments and things like that. So I was like, all right, what movements? I basically just like a bodybuilding routine because I didn't have to really warm up for it. I just go in there and do like 2 sets to failure and a bunch of different exercises that didn't require much weight or much warm up, get a mad pump. And I was just like, sweet, that's me. And is that optimal? No, but it's better than doing nothing. And it's optimal for my situation that I'm in.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's you got to figure out what works for you and figure out what's going to benefit you with the injuries that you have. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Alrighty.
Anything you want to shout out or fucking mention?
Just probably if you're on the south side or near Logan and you want to roll or get into jiu-jitsu, come down to Aries MMA in Browns Plains there, or Harlequins over at Forest Lake. If you're looking for a powerlifting coach or a gym, hit up Paul at Iron Underground in Albion as well. Some great places, great cultures as well at those gyms. And if you're at Aries, come and hit me up. I'm happy to have a chat about
basher.
it.
You're happily basher.
Yep, yes, I will choke you unconscious with your own jacket. Yes, if you want me to.
Oh fuck! I remember a black belt when I was a white belt. He fucking, I don't even know how he did it, but he used my own gi to tie my hands behind my back. And then choked me.
I love using.
And then did like a murder choke, just like this.
Oh, nice. There's a gym here in Brisbane, and if you murder choke, so there's a coffee cart out the front, and if you murder choke someone and they tap, you have to buy them a coffee from the. They have to buy you a coffee from the coffee cart out the front. So that's a brutal submission. Is
that even legal in this sport?
Yeah, I don't. It's not in some competitions, that's for sure. But I think certain gyms for sure. I usually, my theory on jiu-jitsu sometimes is just like I try to think of the most annoying submission, and I get people with it, like wrist locking people, and then like I did this for a while. I don't know why I do it. It's just fucking me being an idiot. But like I'll like blow a raspberry as I like wrist lock people.
That's good, but fucking gyms that get too serious are fucking annoying.
Oh yeah, man, you gotta. It's like, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes when you're rolling, like it's you go hard, but it's all, there shouldn't be any malice in it most of the time anyway. And you should be able to like laugh about it afterwards. Especially if you fuck something up. Like it's like, well, that didn't work out the way I wanted. Like I've done that plenty of times where I'm rolling a purple or a brown belt or something like that. I'll go for something fancy, totally fuck it, and I'm like on my back getting choked. And I'm like, whoops.
Yeah. Make little comments. Remember me and Joji used to whisper fucking sweet nothing into each other's ears when we were, yeah. And then we get in trouble. We're, oh, you two. Yeah. If you want to fucking chat, go for a coffee.
Yeah, 100%. There should be fun, man. You should be able to roll with people hard and have fun and have a laugh and stuff like that. Like, yeah, there's plenty of boys that I train with at Aries or at Harlequins and stuff where I'm just making jokes while we're rolling and stuff. And we're going like, you know, really hard. Like our heart rates are through the roof. Like we're going hard and there's like someone will fuck something up. You make a joke like, and then you just keep going or something will happen. Like, you know, like I was rolling this black belt at Harlequins. He's a massive dude and he's really good, really technical. And I got him with the most simple of stupid sweeps ever. And it launched him. And we both just stopped and started fucking laughing because it was just so stupid.
So there's your fucking powerlifting, jiu-jitsu, MMA. If you want to do Muay Thai, Nung Muay Thai in Newmarket. Fucking
awesome. Sounds good.
The goats. Cool, bro. Right. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me on, man. Cheers.
Nice.